Okay, let's just double check the audio real quick. We're gonna start quick today. Okay, let's just double check. Okay, audio seems good. We're gonna jump right in here. Alright, so, bonus stream. I am still a lazy bastard when it comes to editing, and I have yet to edit anything at all because I get too tired. But, gonna fix that hopefully today. I just realized I needed to grab some material off of these guys. Let me also mute this so we don't have that ridiculous echo. So, this is a bonus stream, because again, I don't have anything to put up today, and the rule is I have to have something. Gotta keep that consistency up. So that being the case, we are going to go ahead and do a bonus stream today. So, missions for the day. I talked about this potentially doing this yesterday when we did our very long, very cool MSQ stream. We got a lot done on that stream, and we're set up pretty much to take the story. I think one more stream. I think next Tuesday when we do our MSQ stream again, that should be it, which is pretty exciting. But ARR is almost done. Anyway, mission for the day. Bard up to level 50, so from 30 to 50 we'll be doing that job quest line. Thaumaturge is going to go all the way to Blacksmith today. And I would like to unlock every single beast tribe so that I can start the grind, because those are quite grindy. So, that being the case, let's go ahead and start out the Black Mage. I'm on the Black Mage already, the Thaumaturge. I might as well just go ahead and start there. Why not? Ignore this. It's random. I was doing random yellows. I was waiting for a leveling to pop to get my my Thaumaturge just that last little bit up. So, that's all that is there. But should be one at the Thaumaturge's Guild. Speaking of, I did get a little bit of gear there. That's what you're seeing me on right now. We haven't had much in the way of progress for our crafters and gatherers levels, but honestly, they're going to be relatively stagnant unless I want to pay a ton of money that I don't have in order to get materials that I could easily gather but don't have access to because I'm not in the Heavensward areas. So I've just more or less put those on the back burner. We are still, of course, going to be doing all the quest lines, get to see their stories. So we'll do that pretty soon, but not yet. Right now. You have the satisfied look of a mage who has utterly vanquished his foes. So I formally welcome you to the Brotherhood of Thaumaturges. The purpose of this trial was to gauge your capacity for wielding thaumaturgy, an innate quality the limits of which are bound by the level of etheric energy flowing through your physical being. Aether, the very stuff of life, exists within all living creatures, greater or lesser extent. Remember this, for it is the most basic law of arcane manipulation. As your experience grows, so shall your reserves of thaumaturgical endurance. The wellspring of your magical might will also swell in response to moments of extreme terror and duress. When you find yourself seeking out greater challenge, when next you crave the thrill of exquisite fear, that is when you shall know that the time has come to visit me once more. I like how the White Mage is all about keeping everything calm and like very measured, not freaking out, and Black Mage is like, embrace chaos! Which does check out. Your burgeoning power strains against the confines of your untried mortal shell. Another trial you must have. From this day forth, your tasks and challenges shall be shaped by the teachings found within Thaumaturgy, the Yawning Abyss, a tome penned by a renowned Thaumaturge, Eorzea. My brothers, who have not once tasted the bitter draught of defeat, will instruct you on the vital lessons to be gleaned from the 4 extensive chapters that comprise this exemplary work. Much shall you learn about the threats with which a practitioner of our art must contend. The first chapter, the threat of intimacy, falls within Kokobigo's purview. It is only fitting that one so averse to being approached should teach you the wisdom to be uncovered therein. I love these little guys, they're cute. I have a soft spot for Lollipops, if you can't tell, they're adorable. Yes, Ursa, I've been expecting you. Allow me to read to you the pertinent passages from the opening chapter of Eorzea's Guide. The threat of intimacy. Ah, how magnificent the potent power we wield. Roaring flames, piercing ice, and shocking bolts are matched not by fist, or sword, or spear. But the burly warrior waxes fearsome with every closing steps. Fist shatter bone, blades slide through flesh, spear punctures soft bellies. Know you this threat and stand you apart from such men. That last part makes me queasy no matter how often I recite it then. The lesson, however, should be obvious. Keep your distance from your foes. Apart from the agony of being hit or stabbed or worse, you'll have a devil of a time completing an incantation with an enemy flailing his weapon at your person. Thus the wise thaumaturge always strikes from afar. The further the better. Then let us proceed with your next trial. Take this dried fish and set it down in the vicinity of the Silver Bazaar. Next, simply draw back to a comfortable distance and wait for a vulture to swoop in to feed. That's when you ambush the nasty creature with a barrage of deadly spells. Once you have slain the scavenger, please retrieve a generous slice of vulture meat for Fafafono. He doesn't mind us conducting trials so close to his shop, so long as he's properly compensated. Yes, Ursa, we pay him in sorcery-blasted bird flesh. Cool. That's an interesting economy they have going on over here. Listen, it sounds like fried chicken to me, so it sounds like to me we are going to go invent KFC out in the Waking Sands, so I'm kind of down. 11 herbs and spices, motherfucker! Is it 11 herbs? We suppose it's 11 herbs and spices? Or is that Dr. Pepper? Okay. I said that and I was like, wait a minute, that might not be KFC. I get KFC and Dr. Pepper confused. I think Dr. Pepper's 23. 23? Yeah. Throw it up in the chat below. How many spices does Dr. Pepper have? Answer the perfect amount. That's how many. Let me check on the FC progress while we're in here. Rank 11, yeah, we're making progress here. By we, I of course mean my wife. I have done nothing to aid her in any capacity. She is completely on her own. Rolling around. I love this broom. Does make sense to have the broom actually on the Thaumaturge class. I had the Otterman mostly, which in fairness also does seem very thematic for the Black Mage. So I have never actually, my first class, I talked about this in the very first episode. The first class that I ever took was Thaumaturge, but the first job I ever got was White Mage. I have never actually unlocked the Black Mage via the job quests. I bought a skip. It's the only thing I've ever skipped, and I deeply regretted it because the job did not resonate with me very well. So this is the first time I'm kind of righting that wrong. And I always loved the lore for Black Mage, especially with the dichotomy of me primarily being a White Mage main. It seems interesting. Anyway. Oh, that was easy. I mean, we're crazy high level, I guess it's fine. Okay, let's see here. You're done making use of my testing grounds, are you? Cough up the fee, then. There's nothing so tender as a bit of meat pummeled with wanton wizardry. Nice doing business with you, Thaumaturge. Did you say Thaumaturge? Has this mage just completed a guild trial? Ah, Master Alchemist, what brings you to the bazaar this fine evening? The gentleman here just slew himself a plump vulture. Oh my god, look how fucking big that ring is on this character's hand. God damn, I feel like a pimp now. I've never noticed that before because it's always been on the Elezen hand for the most part, but god damn, that's huge. Sorry, that completely took me off track here. Where were we at? You'd be surprised how many of these scepter-wielding sorcerers end up sliced to ribbons by beak and talon. That's not the sort of flesh I have a taste for, you understand. My brothers, not again! I love the Wallfells. I know I say it literally every time one's on screen. I can't help it. They're adorable, and I love them. I told my wife we are only accepting Lullafellan applicants to the guild. We made a change, so I know before I said all are welcome from the channel, but no, only Lullafells. You must be this short to enter. Okay, so we've been introduced to yet another Thaumaturge brother. So that will be an interesting development to follow. Okay. Welcome back, Ursa. You've done well. Both thighs intact, face appears unshredded. It truly, it truly is the most terrible feeling to have one's castings interrupted by heinous injury. It's one of the easier trials, if you ask me. Keep it away from the pointy, slashy, bashy things if you want to reach the end of an arcane utterance. That's just common sense. Fortune favors the fighter who flings fire from afar. I simply love the look of loathing leveled at me by distant duelists distressed by my deadly downpour. Ha 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 ha. We Thaumaturges excel at offense, but fail miserably at defense. Our most effective strategy is to topple our adversaries with overwhelming force before they have a chance to respond. Honor is for knights and dead mages. Sir, your studies appear to be progressing nicely. It won't be long before you dominate the battlefield as an avatar of sorcerous destruction. Ooh, he pissed. So it's true, Buki. Don't try to hide it from me, Baigo, or you, Bonnie, or Bezzy, or Boho. Or any of the other dwarves. Kokobusi, what are you doing here? You promised you would teach me next. Well, of course we did, Busi, but Ursa here was most insistent. And once again, you brushed me aside in the hope that I abandoned my heart's desire. Why do you deny me? I hate you, all of you. Please, Busi, you shouldn't say such hurtful things. You know how delicate Baigo is. That was Kokobusi, our youngest brother. He so dearly wishes to become a thaumaturge like the rest of us, but it simply isn't possible. The boy's etheric levels are pitifully low. We thought we had convinced him to accept fate's cruel quirks when he entered the Alchemist Guild, but he yet yearns to walk the path of thaumaturgy. Such is Kokobuki's determination that all his waking moments experimenting with alchemical concoctions, seeking a method by which he can expand his capacity for arcane manipulation. Well, this is obviously not your concern, but back to the abyss with you, young Thaumaturge, and I mean that in the most encouraging manner possible. Get the money, money, money. So that was level 5, I believe? Yeah, level 10. Yes, Ursa, yes. The aura of power surrounding you is palpable. The glare begins to blind my Thaumaturge's eye. Your lesson today shall be taught by Kokobani. Go to him and hear the title and chapter, The Threat of Paucity. That means the brevity of speech. I don't know how that's going to favor into this, but we'll see. Aha! So, Ursa, you have come to learn at the foot of the third eldest brother, have you? I promise you, however, your education shall not be third rates. Let us read from the second chapter, shall we? Are you settled? No last-minute trips to the privy? Very well. The Threat of Paucity. Ah, how magnificent the ruthless power we wield. Flame devours, ice entombs, lightning courses through the stricken bodies of our foes. But oh, such desperation when the wellspring runs dry. Flames sputter out, ice melts into slush, and lightning sparks no longer. Know you this threat, and mind the limits of your mortal vessel. A terrifying thought, isn't it? A Thaumaturge who has exhausted his arcane reserves has not been a man with a stick and a funny hat. For we mages, you may well equate the etheric energy flowing through our veins with our very lifeblood. Should a battle find us lacking in this precious resource, we are good as dead. Controlling the expenditure of your power requires an understanding of etheric balance. The scale can tip in one of two directions, astrally or umbrally. When your mind and spirit lean in an umbral direction, your thaumaturgy is affected by a state known as umbral ice. The potency of your spells is diminished, but they also require less energy to invoke. On the other hand, a thaumaturge in the astral fire state will find that his potency of his incantations enhanced, but at a greater cost to his etheric stamina. Now, with the concept of etheric balance and deficient casting foremost in your mind, I bid you go forth and slay 8 Fs. Pray do your best to stay alive. It reflects badly on me when the mauled corpses of one of my pupils is returned to the ossuary. That's fairly accurate. I'd say paucity is pretty applicable in this case. I would have said there were probably better words. Again, paucity is more language-based, but you're probably muttering incantations, so I'll allow it. We'll allow it. We won't get the thesaurus out and beat his little head over with it. Any word I can think of that would be similar in this and better in this context also doesn't flow as well, so I give him some credit for that one. We are way too over level for this particular part of the quest. That's the one downside of me doing it in this way, but it does make it faster. It just kind of cuts out some of the grind anyway. We're not missing much, just the like longer casting of things. Three more of these y'all guys. The thing take care of itself. Any more Fs here? Nope. One more. All the noises this thing makes. So spastic. Call me Mr. Spastic, Mr. Bombastic. Let me just stop pinning this. Even if it's just not pinned, it's fine. It just keeps popping up in the first. It takes a little bit longer to get to my quest. There we go. So we are definitely not progressing the MSQ today. It is not Tuesday or Thursday, and those are MSQ days. MSQ. Today is a bonus stream day. Also, we're going to try to keep it at about 2.5 hours. That's the goal. I will probably, because that's the goal, I will probably go to 3, but likely not 3.5 or 4. Aha! You arrived before me upright and breathing. Wonderful! It is so much simpler to pose questions to a student without having to resort to necromantic divination. Tell me, Eorzea, what action would you... The fuck am I looking at behind me? The fuck is this shit? Hang on, let me figure out what's going on. Tell me, Eorzea, what action would you take if you found your thaumaturgical endurance exhausted in midst of battle? Branch receptors will probably flee. Oh, most practical indeed. A discreet withdrawal to await the replenishment of your energies is a sound strategy. But should there be nowhere left to run, a vial of aether can be your stoutest ally. Ah, aether, the draught of the gods. We thaumaturges indeed, any who practice the arts of the arcane manipulation, value this substance above all others. Thus it was with unbridled fury that we received the most recent report of beastmen activity. It seems an Emolger raiding party has attacked a caravan of the trade routes and made off with the entire crate of precious ether. The time has come for you to put your new knowledge to the test. Annihilate these Emolger bandits and retrieve the cargo of aether-filled vials. According to the report, their armored war transport was last spotted in the south of Drybone. I believe Kokobuki has an additional request. While you are busy incinerating Emolger, be sure to collect some samples of their blood. Assuming you can draw any from the smoking remains. Are these people? I've never... Was these here before? And I just wasn't paying attention? That's so funny. They're just sitting there like creeping. Oh, I see. He's training them. Look at this little dude. He's training them. They're learning... They're playing a staring contest right now to increase their black mage stat. Oh, that one blinked. That one blinked. He lost. Sorry, little guy. That's really funny and cute, actually. The little things you see whenever you stop and take a sec to see everything. What? Love you too. I bet you never noticed that.
Actually, I did.
Mm-hmm. She didn't notice it. She's lying. I don't know if you heard her. We're having a good day today, travelers. Having a good day today. I'm in high spirits. It's finally the weekend. I can get so much work done on the weekends, which is fantastic. I'm off the weekend. This makes my second weekend in a row to be off, presumably. They've been honest about overtime, and if they call me in, I literally cannot clock in without attaining overtime. So, yeah. Either way, so it's sort of a win-win for me in that way. So either I get overtime or I get the day off. Win-win. I'm a mercenary at heart, so I will generally take the option of money where it's provided, but rest is nice. Coco Bonnie. Oh, Thaumaturge's Guild. Okay. I'm very excited about Black Mage, like I said. I've been enjoying the flow of Thaumaturge more than I expected I would. Do I detect the scent of aether? Do I trust the stench of Eorzea blood? Oh, 10 vials, 20, 30! The sight of so much aether is just so very comforting. What have we here, Coco Bonnie? Is that the crate that was stolen? I see Ursa's lessons have had the desired effects. I would assume the vile, viscous liquid you have there is beastman blood. Kokobushi should be pleased. Kokobuki, you left word for me to visit the house already? Have you finally decided to begin my training in thaumaturgy? Ah, Kokobushi! Good of you to come here. Ursa was kind enough to obtain a supply of Eorzea blood for you. An alchemist acquaintance of mine explained how you had been using the substance in your research to create a mana-amplifying elixir. Naturally, we were most interested in the results of your experiments. So, you see, Busi, your work as an alchemist already puts you in a position to work alongside us. You needn't become a thaumaturge to be a part of our family. That's right, Busi. Besides, the battlefield is a dangerous place, and our skills are not exactly suited to keeping others safe from harm. I see. This is but another attempt to dissuade me from pursuing my true calling. I do want to cheer you on from the safety of my workbench. Do not, excuse me. I want to fight at your side. Busi, we cannot just stand the thought of you being harmed. Pray do not do anything foolish. I do apologize, brother. I sometimes forget how difficult it must be not to have a natural aptitude for the arcane arts. As I mentioned before, Ursa, Kokobushi is dangerously unsuited to the wielding of thaumaturgy. Even with the proper training, he would be unable to cast magics as we can. Were he to attempt to force a manifestation of power, the strain on his etheric reserves would likely kill him. But let us not dwell on that unpleasant circumstance. For you, on the other hand, you are brimming with thaumaturgical potential. Remain diligent in your studies, and do not cease in your efforts to expand your wellspring of power. Well, he's standing right there. At least wait till he's gone to tell me how gifted I am in front of him. Goddamn. Okay, next up, 15. Yeah. Come, Ursa, the yawning abyss beckons once more. Today, Kokobezi will instruct you on the chapter entitled The Threat of Superiority. Not that. You all come for your lesson, Ursa? Then heed my words well. For superiority. Oh, how magnificent the intimidating power we wield. Flames sear the air, ice frosts the ground, and lightning flashes with blinding incandescence. But not all are cowed by our elemental fury. Ignite not your flame, summon not your ice, and strike not with your lightning. Know you this threat, and stay your hand against such foes. Once you cut away all the overblown imagery, the passage draws attention to the important tactic. A wise thaumaturge does not engage in battle against opponents he cannot defeat. A fine example would be avoiding conflict with Uldar's multitude of furious merchants. These soulless, ravening creatures are afflicted with the madness of insatiable avarice. Do you perhaps recall the crate of aether you retrieved from the Eorzea bandits? Well, a number of irate peddlers have arrived at the guild with the gall to demand recompense for the few measly vials we attempted as a just reward. All right, yes, we drank the entire bloody box. But the point is that the guild cannot presently afford to pay such a sum. Thus I pass on to you the secret of my last and most potent defense. Shameless weeping. God. I'm not speaking a few tears here. I want you to stride right up to these tyrannical traders and cry your eyes out. That's something right there. Well, you needn't cry about a few vials of ether, lad. I'll tell you what. You dry your eyes for me, I'll take the loss out of my own purse. Poor merchants. Getting manipulated by these fucking Lalafels. All right, son. I know you're the one who chased down those Amalter brutes for us. I'll let it go this time, for your sake. Fucking, they're drug addicts. Little Lalafellow's drug addicts over here. Now I'm apologizing for them. It's not that... Oh, dear. I'm not angry at you, you understand? It's those 5 Aether-addled brothers I take issue with. You tell them the next time this happens, I'll have the price taken out of their unprincipled hides. Drug addicts! They're fucking drug addicts. Is Aether even... Does that even work on Black Mage? Because I did some testing, just out of curiosity, and it doesn't seem like Lucid Dreams does anything for Black Mages. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think it does. A masterful performance, Eorzea. The sniffling was a nice touch. You will, however, encounter foes who are unmoved by such piteous wailings. Take this next request, for instance, which I nominated you to serve as your next trial. A team of scholars has asked for a Thaumaturge to destroy a cursed relic they unearthed, known as Murmo's Urn. While pottery is, by and large, immune to tears, it is the Alacran thieves that subsequently stole it that concern me. The Alacran are an organization of criminals not known for their gentle or understanding dispositions. Rather than attempting to engage an entire gang of their thugs, I would suggest you neutralize the threat to your person with a well-timed sleep spell. The Alacran have been seen traveling in the southeast of Drybone. Find them and destroy the urn they carry. I can do that, boss. Da-da-da. This is quite a flight over here. So sorry, travelers. I do think it's interesting, too, this area of Thanalin is close to the Shroud. And it's a lot more, like, jungle safari than just, you know, completely sand-swept desert. Which is nice. It gives it a lot more variety of texture. And then, of course, Thanalin is this way. Limsa is a little bit more diverse as well. And then you have Gridania, which has got, you know, obviously your forests are pretty front and foremost, but there's a swamp, right? There's different types of arboreal like growth. It's not just here have tree. You get some diversity in there. A fun fact: we could have an entire conversation about the West Shroud, which is an area that does not exist anymore, but is visible. I'll do that later. Okay, we're looking for. Oh. Forgetting where I put it. Guess they're gonna kill me. Sir, a moment, if you please. Pray allow me to shatter that urn. I thought that if I assisted you with the task, then my brothers might finally deign to take me seriously, so I followed you. What have we got here? A couple of nosy sand rabbits that are trying to get skinned. Oh, dear gods, where did they come from? Oh, wrong one now. I changed that up, by the way, because of where Piercing Talon is on the Dragoon. I typically keep moves that are similar on similar places so that, you know, whatchamacallit, muscle memory kicks in. And Scathe, which is a terrible move, but is similar to Piercing Talon, which is also a meh move. Very similar, so I want them to be on the same spot. It'll just make it easier for me in the long run. Okay. Duty complete. That was simply incredible, Eorzea. I wish I could wield the same sort of power. I became an alchemist in the hopes of creating some manner of mana-amplifying elixir. But all my efforts have been for naught. The results have been far too mild to make any difference. I'll never be a thaumaturge like my brothers at this rate. I'll forever be the pitiful, powerless little sibling. Super zoomed in here. Mortimer's urn. If I destroy it, then maybe my family will see what I'm capable of. Wait. Don't you dare break my urn! What the pottery just talk? Are you Mormo, the Void Sent? Well, yes, I am Mormo. But I'm one of the nice Void Sent. Well, yes, it was the nasty one that sealed me up in here for helping a mortal. If you'd be so kind as to open my lid of my urn, would you be? I would be happy to grant you a wish. Anything you desire. Fortune, fame. I am not really interested in fame or fortune. Perhaps there is one thing that I'd like to have. Aesthetic power to equal that of my brothers. Power, is it? A perfectly acceptable wish. In fact, I sense a latent ability buried deep within your spirits. It will be a simple thing for me to turn it loose. What more is there to think about? Open the lid. Or don't listen to the devil jar. How am I allowing this to happen? I know better. Like, even my character at this point knows better. Don't fucking make bargains with things. That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea in general, honestly. Yeah, you're way too late. Well, I don't feel different at all. I think Momo may have been lying. Come, Eorzea, it's time we were leaving. Oh, were we supposed to break this urn? And that is that. Yes, this will be such fun. I mean, it'll be nice to return home after all this excitement. Yeah, the demon's inside him now. I don't remember that. I don't remember this questline at all, besides the brothers being cute. But the demon's inside. It was pretty clear. I mean, it flew into his mouth, and then he smashed the containment vessel, so... I just love the, honestly, the fucking Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory that we did for him there, too. It's like, wait, stop, no. Like that, clearly. Clearly we did not care that much that he was doing that. Okay. Cocobezzi. Welcome back, Ursa. I'm glad to see you make a habit of not dying. Before we discuss your trial further, however, I would ask you about Cocobusi. When I saw him but a few moments ago, he seemed odd. Well, odder than usual. Would you know what, out of it? But Busi was at your trial? Whoops. It is extraordinarily dangerous and foolish to interfere with the Thaumaturge's training. I should have scolded him most heartily. Such unpleasantness aside, I am impressed that you claimed victory in spite of an unexpected development. The teaching of the Omnibus have served you well. With your experience and control thus demonstrated, I believe you are ready to add a new spell to your repertoire. Scathe. The elementally neutral blast of force will prove effective against all manner of opponents. As I am sure you are eager to test this incantation's efficacy, I shall grant you leave to return to your training. I pity the hostile creature that passes your path. So yeah, Scathe is... honestly, you could just not have it on your hotbar, because you will not be using it. There's almost no reason to use it. It's got an effect... We'll look at it here in a second. I'll pull it up. It's a shame, too, because it's a cool idea. Like, I like it conceptually. And it's meant to be a movement tool, but you have other better tools. I know this much already, just from, like, the community at large. And reading the damn thing. So, it's a 100 potency move with a 20% chance the potency will double. So, at a double, it's 200 potency, right? So, Astral Fire, 180. Well, 200 is higher than 180, right? Sure, yeah. 200 is higher than 180. 290 is higher, but yeah, no, that's the more advanced one. We don't even have that one yet. The issue is the way that aspects work. So, during Astral Fire, your magic is 40% higher per stack. So, why is it 40%? So it's 60% higher. So that 180 is 60% buffed, making it much, much higher than Scathe. And you already have other movement tools, even at this level. I can transpose and go into a different thing, and then I can get lightning. Lightning is also better than it. It's swift cast. There's just no reason to ever use it, sadly. So far as I know, white mage is in the comments. Please let me know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've been undervaluing it, but it just seems pointless to me. I'm not gonna lie. But let us bid you adieu for now. So you're safe. I feared you had fallen victim to the Mage Slayer. Have you heard not the rumors, spate of gruesome killings taking place within Uldar? Each case involves at least one dead Thaumaturge, and every corpse is found bloody, battered, and utterly drained of etheric energy. Ill tidings aside, I'm glad to see you're alive and glowing with vitality. It is time for you to delve into the final chapter of the Yawning Abyss. Coco Boha, our second youngest sibling, will read to you from The Threat of Perplexity. Keep it simple. I guess that's going to be the general nature of this one. Haha, greetings, Ursa. Are you once more prepared to pursue the pages of power and peril? Let us begin. Threat of Perplexity. Ah, how magnificent the daunting power we wield. Flames pursue, ice transfixes, and lightning dances into the ranks of our enemies. But what terror descends when, from all sides, those ranks close? Flames are smothered, ice crushed, and lightning grounded. Know you this threat, and beware, and wear you the multitudinous foe. Yeah, it's basically just going to overwhelm. Is the point of the passage readily apparent? It would be the most problematic, for example, if you should meet this malefic Mage Slayer and he or she proves to be multiple murderers. What a Thaumaturge needs is a thick-set thrall, or a courageous companion to accompany him in case where collective cronies are expected. Now as for your trial, Kokoboho, pray allow me to suggest a practical course for Ursa's training. The town is buzzing with skip that one too quickly.
Town is buzzing with news of the yet more slaughtered thaumaturges, their mutilated bodies found fouling the waters of Nafika's wells. I would have Ursa aid me in hunting down the culprit while the trail is yet still fresh. Ursa may have tolerated your interruption of his trial last time, Boosie, but you are hardly the henchman he needs to clear this hazard hurdle. To clear such a hazard hurdle. Your concerns are understandable, brother. If it would allay your fears, I can introduce Ursa to a valiant warrior who recently entered my employ. You have secured the services of a stalwart swordsman? Then that would indeed be in line with the learnings of the lesson today. Perhaps. Come now, Ursa. Let us be about business before Kokoboho has a change of heart. I'll be waiting for you in Nafika's wells. Was that Kokobusi? Indeed it was. Or was it? But, no, we know he's definitely at least possessed by the demon. I'm going to be very sad. Again, I do not remember this. I did this, like, literally over a decade ago. But if he dies, because, like, I'm going to be very sad if it's like, oh, from the second that the black thing entered him, he was dead on sight. Like, he just died immediately. I'm going to be sad. Because he was just such a little guy. He just wanted to be helpful. Clearly he's murdering people now, or being possessed to murder people. It's kind of like a Ginny Weasley situation, though, where, like, can you really blame him, right? So he's being possessed. I'm just saying. Hashtag Kokobusi did nothing wrong. Ah, Ursa, so good of you to come. He looks a little bit, like, out of it. My Rogan friend here is the warrior I mentioned back at the ossuary. Now, there's no time to waste. Why don't you head into the stream and examine the bodies of the slain mages? I would go with you, but with my delicate stomach, I fear I might contaminate the scene. Remember, you're looking for anything that might help us track down this killer. What's that full of gil? That's funny. Well, he hasn't brainwashed or zombified that guy, so maybe there's hope for him yet. Ow. Says sleeves? Oh, where the hardest. Okay. The goblet is probably my least. Well, it's probably my second favorite. I really don't like the mist. I understand that people like it. And if you like the beach, absolutely. But not for me. Did you uncover anything incriminating? Quite a few things, actually. The blood is yet slick to the touch. The slaughter must have been recent indeed. The villain may yet lurk nearby. Return to the creek where the bodies lay and linger for a time. I dare say your aura, saturated as it is with enticing etheric energy, will lure the Mage Slayer into the open. Have courage, Ursa. Our burly companion stands ready to leap to your aid. So, certainly a demon. We don't have very many quests left of this, so imagine this is coming to a head wherever it's going, because you get a 20, a 25, and a 30, so we got 2 more after this one here. Soul Sucker Imp. I can do that, sir. Man, what is this guy's retainer fee? Because I would love to have, like, just a tank I could pull out of my back pocket. Seemingly ordinary imp. Well, that's suspicious.
Okay. That was probably not necessary, but just in case, I don't want to end up risking having to redo this entire duty because I let this guy die from ads. Where are you going? Are we done? Okay. Okay. Easy. Okay. Cool, cool. Those are the type of void synth, though, that if I'm not mistaken, need to be summoned. They're not the ones that just pierce the veil. They're not strong enough. So... Again, we can and absolutely will have an entire video as to the nature of void synth and their myriad, like, interests, but not today. Quick bonus stream. It seems your partnership with our High Blade went splendidly. It is fortunate, though, that one of the imps was able to flutter away. Oh? Did you not notice? Why, you wouldn't wish to report to Coco Boho with your trial half finished, would you? Of course not. I'm afraid, however, that the Rogan has already collected his recompense and departed the nearby alehouse. What to do, what to do? Surely a thaumaturge of your caliber can handle a single imp, yes? If I'm not mistaken, it fled into the little cave over there. Hurry now, before it slips away in a hidden nook or cranny. Little bastard. I'm just gonna be sad if he, like, sets me up. Like, I thought we were friends. I had your back. I was like, give him a chance. Give him a chance. Let him try. Give him some Aether potions. Maybe he can build up his stamina. You don't know. I feel like I'm about to get knocked the fuck out. Turn around. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit loud. Yup. Demon. That is not Kokobusi. Well, it is Kokobusi, but a Kokobusi possessed by a void simp. Void simp. Void simps are on a different stream, alright. That escaped from Mormo's urn. It was feeding on the etheric energy of all the slain thaumaturges. And you, my dear mana-rich Eorzea, were to be next. I have wanted to absorb your delicious power since the moment we met. A pity that this has been such an amusing charade. However, did you see through it? I am Kokobusi's brother. How can I not? Is it time I destroyed you? It is time I destroyed you, Momo. Put a stop to these sinister killings. As the eldest, I must take responsibility for my family's misadventures. A coward like you? Destroy me? Your opening strike should have pierced my heart. Instead, you aim for the knife. Fear stays your hand. Fear that slaying me will also slay your sibling. Oh my god, he's Spider-Man? Poor spineless... Sorry, that took me aback. Hee poor spineless thaumaturge. I shall, however, leave you with a pleasant thought. It was Kokobusi's fervent wish to amass this power. He craved this arcane strength to stand beside his brothers as an equal. What a shame that he must now stand against you. Couldn't he have just gone in the ground without going through the fucking ceiling first? What kind of flex is that? There was no reason for that. It pains me to admit, but there is some truth to the creature's words. I surrendered the perfect opportunity to end this. I betrayed my own teachings. It kept me alive. Return to the Eorzea and report to the completion of your trial, Eorzea. I'll remain for a time to gather my thoughts. Yes, let me leave you alone out here. How about that? Really involved Guildmaster, though, we'll say that. Probably one of the more involved ones. Wayne came into the field a couple of times with us. Isumiyon really didn't. Lucian definitely did. I don't think we saw Lucian outside of the Bannock at all. Oh, there's my wife. Oh, there she goes. Bye, wife. Oh, it's funny. For those of you who didn't know just then, I have names of players who are not on my friends list completely off. I can still see the people, obviously. But just the absolute sea of blue does not get in the way of my vision, which is very nice, because it can be a little overwhelming. Eorzea, Kokobuki has advised me of your adventures. It seems the Mage Slayer slithered away, but your stint with the swordsman was nonetheless successful. Consider this chapter complete. Your time with our Tomb of Teachings is at an end. Well, to be absolutely accurate, this is an addendum with additional advice, but Kokobuki considers it extracurricular. Even I dare not delve into these diabolical depths. I do not yet deign to die, you understand. Listen, a little danger. I have yet to inform my brothers of Kokobuki's misfortune. I have yet to reconcile the maelstrom within my own mind. The most fundamental lesson of thaumaturgy demanded I slay the creature where it stood. It was the most opportune moment to strike. Minimal risk and the victory all but assured. How many more will suffer for the hesitation in my cowardice? It will likely be some time, however, before Mormo resurfaces to kill again. Now that we have uncovered the deception, the Void Scent will seek a new hunting ground where Kokobusi's face is unknown. And though the respite may be brief, I must devote this time to considering my next course of action. Pray lead me to my musings, Eorzea. Or, you know, you could tell your brothers they don't get caught unaware by a demon. Just throwing that out there is a good idea, sir. You know, and sorry, Mr. Guildmaster, sir. Let me just go about my business. Eorzea, saw you coming this time. It's been watchful since. I've been more watchful since Kokobuki told us about the dreadful business with Kokobusi. We must locate our unfortunate younger sibling as soon as possible and deal with him. But Kokobuki is not his usual unflappable self. It frightens me to see our eldest so indecisive. Terrifies me, in fact. Perhaps you might speak with him and banish his air of uncertainty? Eorzea, long have I agonized over Kokobusi's plight, and the measures I might take to extricate him from it. It would not do to call upon my Thaumaturge colleagues. No, they would simply seek to obliterate my brother outright. Our teachings from the Yawning Abyss allow for no other alternative. There is, however, one tiny glimmer of hope. I have had word that the scholars who requested the destruction of Mormo's urn returned from their expedition. They are currently in Camp Drybone, blowing the ink dry on their collective findings regarding the wretched Void Scent. I would ask that you go to these experts of the otherworldly phenomenon and beg permission to peruse their work. Let me do that. Book of Mormo. Again, I was not expecting Spider Lullafell. That was a new one for me. I do gotta point out, though, why the ceiling and then go through the ground? You could just go through the ground. It just seems so unnecessary. I just don't... I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around that one, to be honest. You're interested in the readings of Book of Mormo? Of course, of course! It would be a pleasure to share our findings with a fellow student of the Void Scent. Here is the first chapter, my own humble contribution to our research. It tells the tale of how we became aware of the creature's existence, and delves into the nature of the urn that imprisons her fell power. Her fell power, interesting. I don't know if Void Scent have genders, to be honest. I mean, some of them have, like, obvious gendered traits, but they're sort of beings of energy. Anyway. If you seek the definitive work on Mormo, then seek no further. I have penned an in-depth analysis of a most cunning ritual. A method contrived by the mages of Eld to annihilate the soul of this especially potent Void Scent. When it comes to draining such a creature of etheric energies, one must... but I have no time to stand here explaining the intricacies of shaping arcane pottery. Here, take my chapter and read it at your leisure. Okay. Yep. You wish to learn a Mormo? Right this instant? What we barely... How did you... Well, I suppose I could spare a copy of my writings. I've already prepared several... Oh, there's a woman. I've already prepared several sets to share with potential publishers. I can well understand your curiosity. Mormo's truly fascinating, even among the oddities of the Void Scent. She is far too powerful to make use of the tiny holes that open between our realities, and thus must send across only her spirit to possess a corpse or some other suitable host. You'll find it all explained there in the second chapter. So probably because Kokobusi has, like, repressed etheric energies. She was able to latch onto him, is my guess. So she's kind of like a parasite. That's interesting. Whew. Okay. Let's go, travelers. Do you have the 3 chapters of the Book of Mormo? Indeed. The histories unearthed the ruins of Silda depict the suffering wrought by a singularly powerful void scent, the cunning and terrible seductress known as Mormo. With genius born of desperation, the mages of the now fallen city fashioned an urn that would drain and imprison the etheric vitality of any creature that laid a hand or claw upon it. Mormo, believing she was receiving a gift of appeasement from the beleaguered citizens, found her very essence drawn forth and trapped in the ensorcelled pots. Over the course of several centuries, the captive energy was intended to weaken and dissipate, allowing any surviving descendants to safely shatter the urn and thus destroy Mormo's enervated spirit. The pot's lid was never to be opened again. To do so would release the ravenous void scent, freeing her soul to enslave the nearest mortal vessel. As possession of this nature is irreversible, the only mercy afforded such a host would be a swift and decisive demise. Oh, that's not good news. This explains Mormo's fixation on the Thaumaturge side. Kokobusi's body provided little arcane sustenance for the weakened void scent, forcing her to prey upon richer sources of ether to restore her hideous power. This morsel of information may prove vital. In fact, it may be the only glimmer of hope for our poor sibling has. Pray hand this work over to Coco Baigo. I shall be along momentarily. Jump. Okay. This is the work devoted to studying the nasty Voidston. I should hope it provides some hint of salvation. Looks around. Kokobuki, these passages hold naught but misery and despair. It seems we have little choice but to employ our traditional approach. Though fraught with danger, there is one solution that promises an alternative to killing Kokobusi. If we fail, however, it is likely to mean death for us all. Who is this mad mage that possesses our eldest brother? What of avoiding threats, of eliminating the risks? Is that not how thaumaturges do battle? With each passing moment, Mormo draws even closer to her full strength. It pains me to suggest it, but we should now strike Kokobuki, while the void scent is yet feeble. I share the self-same sentiment. So awful though it may be, we must slay our enslaved sibling, and soon. Listen, brothers, my solution is thus. In return for releasing Kokobusi from Momo's thrall, I will offer the void scent the chance to glut herself on my mana. You cannot! That succubus will drain you to a lifeless husk, and such a feast will awaken all of her terrible magic. The well of my power is vast. I wager Mormo's thirst will be slaked before my spirit fully runs dry. And the newly enlivened void scent, she will then face the combined wrath of Eorzea and 4 guild masters of thaumaturgy. How can we hope to prevail against the paragon of preternatural potency? We have always avoided adversaries for whom we had no advantage. The fault lies with me. Ever have I encouraged such avoidance, and taught only the wisdom of certain victory. It is time we learned the courage to fight battles of unsure outcome. And it is you, Eorzea, that I ask to instruct us. There is yet one chapter left in the Yawning Abyss, one that is customarily hidden from newer members. Undertake the trial founded within, and show my brothers what it means to be brave. How can you ask such a thing of poor Eorzea when even the guildmasters have attempted this ghastly test? The arcane might you all possess is far greater than you believe. Eorzea, once you deem yourself prepared for the lesson of the true final chapter, meet us in the hallowed hall of Thal's Respite. Is that here, or is that one that I went through? Yep. Okay, over here. Hallowed halls. We'll be glad when I'm out of here. I hate this, like, switchback staircase thing they got going on for this area. Yep. Alright, ain't quite a flight away. 1 second, I'm gonna put that on auto run for a second. I'll be right back, travelers. Okay, almost there, travelers. Almost there. Let me get the microphone out of my beard. I think we have just the one left. Seeker of Bounty. That's interesting. I don't recall putting that on, but sure. I'll seek bounties. Let's go for it. A lot of that's my macros. Could just be what the Black Mage one's set to. It's not set to anything currently. Okay. Looks like we got an instance coming up. I regret having to drag you into our family's troubles, but I am confident that with the many and terrible trials you have bested already, you will prevail once more. The hidden chapter of the Yawning Abyss presents a trial that challenges the accumulated knowledge and skills of a single thaumaturge. You must employ all the tools at your disposal if you hope to seize victory this day. Let the trial commence. Proceed. Am I fighting you guys? There is no escape from this abyss. The void spills into our realm on shadowy wings of inky shadow. Thaw's teeth I can barely watch. So try to keep your blood inside your body. That's very good advice, Coco Bonnie. Thank you. Oh, that was quick. I'm out of mana. Okay. Still new to the whole Black Mage loops. Apparently I fucked up there, sorry. The first time I've run out of mana is usually I'm pretty good about transposing. Let's go. I think it's because I swapped those two. I think that's why I messed up last time. It seems reasonable. So I just did it again. Oh. Is that all you got? Hit me with your best shot. Cannot stop shaking, but I think this might actually be excitement. Do you see now, my brothers? With the primal energies of Thaumaturge at your command,
There is no threat which you cannot overcome. Perhaps this is our chance to save Kokobusi. I need to reconsider some strategies. It seems we have been wasting our potential. I would never have believed it possible for a mage to show such courage and live. What a wonder, Eorzea. I feel my fingers itching to fling fire with a fury. Alliteration. Imagine, my siblings, what towering enemies we might topple should we stand firm together. Thank you, Eorzea. Your inspiring display of magecraft has set the minds of my brothers reeling with new possibilities. Let us now return to the guild and discuss what is to come. Cool little instance, very cute. And this next one should be the end cap, should be the 30. At that point, we will be done with Thaumaturge. A little bit later than I wanted, so pretty much on schedule then. By the time we get done with Stormblood, I think my wife will be ready for the divorce. She's nodding. Y'all can't see her, but she's nodding. What a formidable team you all shall make. Coco Baigo, Coco Bonnie, Coco Bezzy, Coco Boho, Eorzea. Even Mormo must wither before the onslaught of your combined thaumaturgy. But before we engage the Void Sin, perhaps some time is needed for my brothers to unlearn their ingrained inclinations. Meanwhile, I suggest you hurl yourself in the chasm of your studies. Your fearless thaumaturgy is a beacon to us all. Yeah, good there. I like that purple, though. Okay. Mana Ward. Ooh, that'd be nice. Still with the purple. Probably gonna go with silver. Okay. Fortune has favored us, Eorzea. Kokobusi has been spotted at Vespa Bay. We cannot let this opportunity pass us by. Head there with all due haste, and with you take these descriptions of my brother's likenesses and Mormo's mannerisms. Relay this information to some of the local residents and see what you can find. Yeah, creepy Lalafell likes to sit on the ceiling. I think I can probably handle that. Is this Waking Sands? It is. Pray return to the Waking Sands. Okay, let's see here. Here. What's that, son? You're saying you're looking for someone? Believe I saw your Lalafell in the company of a couple of adventurers hailing from Limsa Laminsa. A marauder and a thaumaturge, but I'd hazard a guess. I think they were talking about seeing the area north of here. So. Something I can do for your stranger? Now that you mentioned it, I did see a Lalafell who matches this description. He was watching the Feddies come in with more than a passing interest. Looking to hire some adventurers or some such, I reckon. Oh, got lucky on the first try. Welcome to the Pissed Pieste. Love, what can I get ye? Ah, information, is it? Aye, that little bloke was in here, bringing a blush to all the young maiden's cheeks. What he lacked in height, he certainly made up for in boldness. Left with more than one lass on his arm, he did. So Mormo has chosen this as her new hunting ground. The maidens seduced by the succubus will be prepared as vessels to hold her fully restored power. I fear they will have already been slain. As for the adventurers, well, I think you can imagine what Mormo intends for the Thaumaturge. We must find and warn those unwitting Limosans before the Void Sin strikes again. You were told that they might be headed north, yes? It would be best for you to follow suit. Where are the footfalls? Shit's dangerous up there, alright.
Excited Travis is the last one right here. Facing your demons. Still here. It's still here somewhere close. Methinks, lad. Ugh, me head. That little bastard said he would give us the Grand Tour of Ulda. Aye, it's been grand, all right. Please, he took me mate further north. Think he was muttering something about Moondrip? Ursa, what has befallen? I sense the presence of Voidsent, but it appears you have things well in hand. Mormo's in Moondrip, fitting place for the battle to come. It is time to finish this, my brothers. Kokobusi will be a slave to that fiend no longer. This Marauder's like, what the fuck is happening? And why are there 5 Lalafels in Mage cosplay right here next to a giant with a pickaxe and a bunch of tentacle monsters? I bet you that's not what he expected to find when he came out today to work. That's all I'm saying. He's a mercenary. He just showed up. He got hired by a guy. He's like, yeah, seems legit. Coin looks real. Cool. Next thing you know is this bullshit. I shall approach Mormo first, as we discussed. If the bargaining proceeds smoothly and the Voidsent feasts on my proffered manner, then she should soon manifest in her demonic form. Once Mormo is fully present within this realm, that is when you unleash the seething power of the Abyss. Though after lecturing you for so long on how a Thaumaturge should avoid such threats, I yet hold doubts as to whether or not such a direct conflict is the correct path. Ursa, in your experience, what do you consider to be the Thaumaturge's greatest strengths? Introspection. That's interesting, actually. I like the introspection. Yes, indeed, it is perhaps only by looking within that we may find the answers we seek. I am decided. My fate awaits me. I have faith that no matter what becomes of me, you shall succeed in destroying Mormo, ending her threat to this realm. I wonder if I'm going to have to give up my mana. That's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen. I'm excited about this, though. Holy shit. Fucking Palpatine over here. How do you go from Spider-Man to Palpatine? Enough, Mormo. Well, well, but isn't the eldest of the cowardly Thaumaturge brothers. I thought you'd be busy whimpering under your bed, wishing to disappear. I've come to offer you a deal. I know you seek the etheric energy needed to substantiate your true form, but how much time do you intend to waste feeding on these lesser mages? Compared to these stripling sorcerers and their trembling arcane flames, my power is a blazing sun. Would you not prefer to take what I can give you? Drain my strength, assume your rightful appearance. I am sure you think me a coward, but that is of no consequence. I only wish Kokobusi returned to us unharmed. You are wise to acquiesce, Mage. Fucking Makote's like, fuck this! The fuck is this bullshit? Look at this! Now he's Dragon Ball Z-ing, like what? Okay. At long last, my true body, my power, is mine once more. I believe a stretching of the old arcane muscles is in order. Oh, no you don't, Voidsent. We won't let you leave here alive. So you risk your lives in the valiant rescue attempt? You should not be what you are. You should not bet what you are not prepared to lose. I shall tear the aether from your very marrow. See how that works out for you there. Fry fiends for fun. Oh shit, not that. That transpose switch is really fucking me up here, but I need to get used to it if it's going to be a standard. I love how I said how useless Scathe is, and I've inadvertently used it like 5 billion times now. All the lightning stacks on her. Stones will drink your blood. She's almost dead. Oh, he might die. That might be game over here. Yep. He's dead. Probably should have done the ads. I don't think we're failing, though. Just trying to keep an eye on all of their health, but there's so many of them, it's difficult to see them all. Anyways, is that... Are we good? Oh, we're good. We won. We won! Victory is ours. Kokobusi, Kokobuki. Momo is dead. Or back in one of their bodies. Where am I? Thank Thor, you'll awake Kokobuki. Kokobusi has returned to us. Our sibling has yet to stir from his somnolent stupor. Buki? His etheric channels have contracted. They are barely sufficient to sustain the flow of his life force. Do not increase his capacity for Aether soon. His vitality will drain away completely. My mana amplifying potion. Its potency is limited, but it just might be enough.
I see the battle ended as I expected. You did it, Kokobushi. Your alchemy saved him. We would not have prevailed without you, Eorzea. We will bear our brother back to the ossuary. Pray meet us there that we might properly express our gratitude. And none of them seem to be demons. Well, more than their usual Olafel, anyway. Okay, go take that up real quick. Any good rewards yet? No, not really. 'Tis all well and good. That was a really cute little storyline, though. I liked it a lot. Thank you, Eorzea. After seeking refuge in the comforting shadow of the abyss for so long, I had lost sight of the blazing glory of which Thaumaturge is capable. The raw power and audacity of your magecraft has freed me and my brothers and me from our self-imposed cowardice. I like how they all have different stones. They seem to be running the entire spectrum of the eye stones. I thought Thal himself had his fingers at my throat, but this sensation of hard-won supremacy is strangely satisfying. As for you, Kokobushi, you are our brother and our respected colleague. I hope you never again underestimate the precious power you wield. So you've exceeded all my expectations. In recognition of your outstanding growth as a thaumaturge, I shall impart to you one of the guild's most closely guarded techniques. Mana Ward. It is defensive weaving of the energies that blunt the forces of any attacks made against you. I am sure you can understand why we do not teach this secret to every stray hedge wizard who chooses to join our ranks. Now that you have experienced the deadliest threats and joy that come with their obliteration, I am certain that you are eager to explore just how deep you might descend into the chasm of thaumaturgy. May your struggles bring wisdom, and your wisdom bring courage. I, for one, am looking forward to hearing from your future thaumaturgical endeavors. Okay, that's Thaumaturge done. Thaumaturge level 30. Take on this thing right here, right here. First one's gonna be Mana Fonts. Ooh, that's cool. I'm excited because I've never really looked too strongly at the Black Mage abilities, so it's gonna be pretty cool. Also, she is adorable. So I've been waiting for you in a way. Please let me explain. Do you know of the Marsaja Pit? It is a prison here in Ulda. In prison, a man will do most anything to keep his mind occupied. Of late, one inmate claims to hear the voice of Nald Thal. No doubt he has lost his mind after serving 100 years of a life sentence. But he knew of you by name, Eorzea, and claims that traitors demand you win the Gem of Shatoto in exchange it for his release. A farce, no doubt. I make it for nothing more than the maniacal ravings of a cell-crazed, sweaty-toothed madman. But I fear the only way to be sure is to free him of the pits. The prisoner's name is... oh my god. Fuck it. Kururuka Tataruka. Kururuka Tataruka. And if his story were not proof enough of his lunacy, he also styles himself a black mage. But such magic was lost to Eorzea centuries ago. Who does this senile charlatan think he will fool with such rubbish? Nevertheless, he has invoked the name of Nald Thal, so the Order feels it unwise to ignore his words. Though I am still no believer, you have come as he said you would. So let us get to the bottom of this, shall we? It may be that you are an agent of fate. Perhaps you are merely a crooked old man's accomplice. In either case, I ask that you travel to Highbridge in eastern Thanalan. Seek out the planar fissure, a rift between this world and the next. Fell whatever beasts might lurk there, and water the earth with their blood. According to the jailed mummer, doing so will give rise to the Gem of Shatoto. The gem is no more than a pretty stone oft mentioned in bedtime stories and tales of fairies. We shall see if it truly exists. I shall await your findings here. Return to me when the deed is done. So unless I'm mixing up the names, Shatoto I think is from Final Fantasy XI. I'm pretty sure she's not a Lalafell, because they're not Lalafells in 11. But they look quite similar. But I thought that her name was Shantoto, and I'm pretty sure I'm reading Shatoto there. Could be, you know, just differences in the translation. It also could just be that I'm completely wrong. And third option is that it's a completely different character. Lalafells have we talked about this before, but Lalafells have an almost Samoan-style alphabet, at least in terms of their naming conventions, right? So for those of you who don't know, Samoan people, or, you know, Native Hawaiian people, have a thing with vowels. They tend to only use a couple of them, but just over and over again. Which is why you get things like kakawiki wahole. You know, I'm not being disrespectful, I hope. But I can't pronounce any of them. But they typically use them over and over again in like a span like that. So it's sort of similar with Lalafells, where like Tataru's name is Tatataru Taru, right? There are some outliers, particularly ones that are adopted, but for the most part that is the case. Man, or whatever. Shit. Wasn't expecting to pop out quite so quickly. Oh shit, there's more. Okay. Thaumaturge, hear me. Oh shit. Put away your weapon, friend. Cosmic charm means you no harm. So you are the one of whom Kwabaruko's prophecy speaks. By your hand has the blood of these creatures split upon this earthen vein, was it not? Spills, probably. Then you have earned the Gem of Shatoto. Take it. You will know what to do with it when the time comes. Assuming it's a job crystal. With this, my part is done. Farewell for now. That is a job crystal. I love the various ways that like they give you job crystals in the game. Very cool. Luck on your journey, my fellow Black Mage friend. Finally time I moved this up here. That was always going to go there, I just had it moved there because of the hunting log. Let's see, how big of a shield? That's quite a large shield. It's quite beefy, actually. Oh shit, not too far. Well, you certainly smell as though you've been off spilling blood, but it will take more than a waft of foulness to convince me you are an agent of divine will. I take it yours was an eventful journey? You could say that. Yes, but it's exactly as described in the tales. Could it be true? The gem of Shitoto. 12 be good. I can feel the magic pulsing within. The tales tell that only souls blessed by the grace of Nalthal are entrusted with the keeping of the gem. This is beyond mere coincidence. I must investigate further. And you must assist me, Eorzea. This now involves you as much as any other. Still, I cannot shake my inner skeptic. If Kukuruka somehow made contact with the outside world, he may have manipulated adventurers such as yourself for ends yet unknown to us. I will call an emergency council of the Order. Please wait here. Oh. Oh. That will not be necessary. Look at him. He's cute. Kukuruka, what are you doing here? How have you escaped the pits? Lele. Watch your tongue, you insolent fool. Master has passed a century in meditation, communing with Nalthal. You will address him with the proper respect. The gaolers of the Malsaja pit are very different from the heretics of your order. Ooh. Suffice it to say, they have wisdom enough to listen. Must I remind you again? The will I speak is that of Nalthal himself. The true criminal is he who ignores the words of a god. Beware, Kukuruka. The 12 seldom spare those who claim their voice. This mummer's farce will bring disaster to us all. The cause of the disaster to come will not be words of mine, of that to be sure. Nalthal spoke unto me. By his own declaration, the seal on the void gate will be broken. Once thrown open, it can be closed once more by none but he who bears the gem of Shitoto. This is interesting. I didn't know about a void gate in Ulda. I speak of you, Eorzea Bearsong. Are we echoing? Oh, it came back to me. The gem you hold is the mark of a mage of the black. With it in hand, you must now set forth to gather the keys needed to seal the void gates. Man, this is so cool how all the jobs give you more lore like this, because the void gate is something that happens in one of the areas of Endwalker. I guess it's post-game Endwalker, but still very cool. Wait, you can't... I mean, you don't have the right to... I can't just let this happen. Silence, you hollow-pated prig. Those who do not listen shall not be heard. You take for yourself the title of Thaumaturge, and so I will not suffer you to claim ignorance. You know as well as any the existence of the netherworld, rife with shadow and monstrosity, the void. As the power of the void waxes, the barrier between it and our own world wanes. Eventually the barrier will falter, and the void gate will open. Once it has, only the black magic of Eld can reseal it. This is sacrilege. As one who commands, who now commands the forces of destruction, I bid you go forth, Black Mage. The gem of Shitoto is our sigil, the mark of the magic devoted to the true dark art. In it, you already possess the first key required to see the void gate sealed. You have taken the black, but time is needed before the black takes you. Before it permeates mind and body and colors every fiber of your being dark as pitch. Visit Milvanith Sacrarium. A lot of words in here, I don't know. And there hear the words of Lele. She's so upset. Little Lalafell stompies. Do not fear the power to destroy. Master it, and with it destroy that which would destroy you.
That's pretty good words of wisdom, actually. Where is their questing area? Oh, it's still here. It's just a slightly different place. I wonder what was over there. Because I've often seen people gathered over there, and just never really knew why. I suppose either one of these is fine. Let's go down over this way.
Master is meditating in his chambers, for Nonthal always speaks, and Master must listen. He has entrusted me with guiding you on your path. But you must walk alone yet. Come again when the black has grown stronger within you. Lele, interesting name.
Lale, mele hele honya. Okay, so it's Black Mage unlocked. That was the first goal that we had at 1 hour and 37 minutes. So again, on par for being radically overestimating my speed. You know, typical. Alright, we are now a Black Mage. Holy shit, there's a lot of fucking... Enhanced Addle, really? Alright. It doesn't seem to change anything here, which is good. But it has added a number of things. So what does this do precisely? Fully restores MP. Amazing. Grants Astral Fire 3, which presumably I have now. It doesn't specify what Astral Fire 3 does, although I'm assuming it would be beneficial and probably very good. So we've got our Gap Closer. This seems like a super buff. I definitely want to have that on my... always available to look at window. For sure, for sure. Okay, Blizzard 3. Blizzard 2 is the... Yeah. Fire 3. Ash Fire 3. Removes Umbrellize. Okay. So we don't unlock that to the next level. Which that'll be pretty good, actually, for sure. And then Umbral Soul. Grants Umbral... So this is the opposite of, presumably, the other. Grants Umbral Ice. Restores your MP. Restores amount of MP commensurate with your stacks of Umbral Ice. So Umbral Ice 3 restores 10,000 XP when... Oh, okay. So very useful. Okay. Nice, nice. Potency to all enemies nearby it. Will be executable under the effect of Umbral Ice. This is going to be interesting because I'm going to have to keep 2 of these like this, I guess, which is fascinating. Okay, Thunder 3. Yeah, I was hoping that was just going to be better Thunder. Cool. Deals fire, aspect damage to all targets and all enemies nearby it with a potency of 240 for the first enemy, 30% less for all time. Resistance for 3. Okay. Just all. Pretty funny. Yeah, I'd like that to be somewhere. It's going to be a combo ender, right? Any reason to not do this all the time? It'll be executable under the effects of Astral Fire, but it's not a big deal. This is effectively be like your combo ender, I guess. Okay. Ley lines. Connects too powerfully into pose. Reduce spell cast. Okay. Blizzard 4. I couldn't be so lucky. So Blizzard 4, it's here. It's 3, bonus. Nullifies Astral Fire's MP cost, increases the fire spells, reduces it, reduces the cost for flare by 1/3. Ice. Okay. Fire 4. Fine, that'll work. Move instantly to ley lines drawn behind you. Get to do that. Okay, that's the range thunder. That's good. Triple cast. Foul. Enemies potency of 600 for the first enemy, 25% less for the rest of them. Whew. Got a lot of abilities so far. Polyglot cost. Interesting. I suppose I'll know when I have polyglot, but just in case. Spare. Is this the... This appears to be the single target version of that one spell that I have, the flare spell. 350, yeah. This is all mana? Yeah. Xenoglossy deals unexpected damage to power. So that's the single target version of this big eye move. Of course, we have some things we can do here. Put that triple cast up. Does flare only be cast by Amplifier? Alright, yeah, Ashfire, okay. Glossy, High Fire. Man, there's so many spells. Jesus, steals a fire, puts it on all enemies nearby it. Okay. So it's just that. Glossy, Leylines, High Blizzard. Copy that one too. Amplifier. It's Polyglot, can be executable under the effect of Astral or Armable Ice. When are you not under the effect of one of those two things, would be my question. Seems to be that would always be the case. Go ahead and do that there. I'd like to be able to see that constantly. That here, this here. Please ignore dogs barking. Put this over here. High Thunder. Presumably that is regular thunder. Yep. High Thunder 2. Presumably that's regular thunder 2. Yep. Retrace. We ley lines anew, setting your circle of power at a new location. Will be executable under the direct... Oh, that just changes. Okay. Flare Star. Okay. Let's see. Right. Let's see. 500 versus enemies. Oh, that's less exciting than it sounds, to be honest. Okay. I'm relatively happy with that. Let's go ahead and double up some of these on this side. And take on some of these traits for it as well, probably. But I'm relatively happy with that. Okay, so let's put on the Leylines move on this side. Well, Leylines take a long time to cast, alright. That Between the Lines move. Right here as well. Put the Flare move over there. Cast. Gonna go right, yeah. Foul is no more. Paradox. Alright, well, we're now a fully vested Black Mage that has pretty much everything on their bars. I don't think I'm missing anything necessarily, but a lot going on. a lot more on the bars than I'm used to be honest. Black Mage is probably one of the more self-contained classes that I've seen. You don't really need role traits much. Because like you can't really benefit from lucid dreaming again unless I'm incorrect. So it's pretty much just your standard ones, and then you have your own triple cast or swift cast. It's triple cast. It's even better than swift cast. So pretty amazing. Lots of traits. Lots and lots of traits. Looks like your polyglots are a thing.
Enochian. 5%, it's just a damage buff, cool. Heart, freeze, excuse me, found a Emerald Soul. Gotcha. Time has been reduced. That's a second stack of Polyglot. So many things. So many things. Okay. That's been that. That took 10 minutes, just me sitting here looking at bars. Hot bars. Assign. That is pretty cool to look on the bar, I will say. That's pretty nice to see, that little comment now. Yoshi P's favorite job, by the way. His main. Black Mage. In the meantime, though, spent a lot of time just standing here. So we are going to go ahead and do things a little bit differently than I had initially envisioned, just in case we run out of time. So what we're going to do, instead of doing the Bard and then the job quest, or the Beast quest, we're going to do the Beast quest and then the Bard. That way we know for sure if we have time for the Bard, because I don't want to commit to any of the Beast quests unless I can get all the starters for them done. So that being the case, they're going to take the priority today. We're just doing the first, just so I can unlock the dailies, so it shouldn't take that long. Yours is a welcome face, Eorzea. I have a task for that, for which one of your impeccable record would be well suited, though perhaps campaign would be more fitting description, given the sheer commitment to this mission demands. As you are well aware, the inhabitants of Thanlin have long suffered the hostilities of the Eorzea. The lizardmen had been quiet for a time, chastened by your victory over the primal Ifrit, but once again the beastmen stir. There has been a resurgence in kidnappings, and in great numbers than before. Matters have grown so far out of hand that the local garrisons have petitioned us for reinforcements. That is why I wish you to lead an extended action against the Eorzea and put a stop to these raids. Report to Commander Giselbert, head of security at Little Almingo, and he will brief you on the details of your duty. Giselbert. Interesting name. Might be Giselbert, but we'll go Giselbert because it sounds funnier. And let's go Dragoon. Dragoon becomes my default just because it has some higher DPS. So. Commander Swift said he'd assign someone to assist with our growing beastman problem. Got to see the urgency of our situation is being taken seriously. Now, as I'm sure the commander explained, the Eorzea activity in the region has grown almost frenzied. It seems like the lizardmen are determined to carry off every peddler and traveler that tries to pass through southern Thanlin. And I'm not speaking of furtive nighttime raids here. The bastards striking in full daylight, even against escorted merchant caravans. We've heard reports of raids as far south as Sagoli Desert, so it's not a simple matter of increasing patrols on the roads into Little Alamigo. We must mount a decisive response, and soon. The next time the Eorzea appear, I want you ready to send them howling back into the deserts. Not long before you arrived, in fact, our scouts reported a merchant resting in plain view of one of the trade routes. Make case of the location I've marked on your map and see if that fool isn't taken by a raiding party. Merchants, am I right? Okay, I'm gonna this y'all this way. This I'm gonna interact with it. He's right here. Oh, I have to wait somewhere for him. Let's see. There it is. Is he poisoned? Or is he falling asleep out here? Overconfident fools. You think your raids here go unnoticed? What treachery is this? You are of the Brotherhood of Ash. We are. Though we number but few, we shall be your death this day. Traitorous heathens, your victory will come at a price.
Consider yourself Princess Mononoke. Attacking when the enemy's back is turned. Your ancestors would turn in their graves.
A soldier's life is one of peril, and the first rule of war is to understand the mind of your enemy is yours, as well as your own. Your presence is noted here, adventurer, but this is our battle. You need not become involved. I am Hamujgar, and I lead the Brotherhood of Ash. We are what remains now of the all-consuming flames have reduced the rest of my people to unthinking zealots. You interest me, child of Eorzea. Be it fortune or fate, I would not ignore the forces that sought to bring us together. I extend to you an invitation to join us at the Ring of Ash.
They should be really close. Yeah.
Welcome to the Ring of Ash, adventurer. This place serves as home for our humble gathering of soldiers. My brothers and I ever seek to hone our martial prowess and honor the blood of our ancestors. We keep to the old ways, the desert nomad and the warrior. To those who are worthy, we show the proper respect regardless of origin. Your aura carries the reek of brimstone. Could it be you are the one of the champions said to have laid low the Lord of the Inferno? Then I would have you understand the curse that has befallen our fanatic brethren. They have forgotten the code that governs our people. The glory that comes with the warrior's death. They spirit away the weak and the feeble, and offer them up in exchange for the barbed blessings of a hoary god. Day after day I witness the shameful acts of my kin. The honor of the Amalja is faded, paltry thing, no longer driven by the righteousness of fortunes and battle. It is the kidnappings that most stoke the flames of my fury. Why, the victims often bear no arms at all. What triumph can be found in such cowardly attacks? We are hunters, my brothers and I, and the fallen Amalja who huddle in the Zonrock are prey. If you share my outrage, then I bid you join us in our kin war. No, I will not accept this pretender. You claim to be one of the heroes that felled Ifrit. I've cut down a dozen men who boasted that feat. More likely you slew a guttering fire sprite and convinced yourself it was the king of the Seventh Hell. I do not ask for your counsel, Lungar. I, and I alone, make the decision for the Brotherhood. Then you better not stray into the path of my arrows, adventurer. We have too many enemies for me to waste ammunition on puffed-up heroes like you. Forgive this interruption. I shall vouch for the authenticity of your claim. Only one who has faced and defeated Ifrit could have that scent that you do. Past glories, however, will not impress my soldiers. Prove yourself through actions, and you might find reception here improved. Our foes are the Amalja of Zanriek. We shall break the fangs that feast on the helpless. Our target is clear, and our resolve unshakable. This is one of my favorite beach tribes. They're very noble, and they really give context to the whole, like, they're not just cartoonishly evil lizards, right? Which is a lot more interesting than just lizard bad, right? We, the Amalja, were once simple nomads who roamed the vast plains of the Palgathon. If any sought to impede our path, we relished the challenge to our skill at arms. For as long as our people have existed, it has been tradition for aging warriors to make their pilgrimage to the holy land of Zunrock, and there confront the specter of death. It is an honor to cast one's time-tempered soul into the sacred flames, and return one's body to ash. But these craven whelps of Zunrick quaver before death's inevitability. They seek not to fortify their spirits, instead groveling before a deity for strength they do not deserve. I have not the words to express my disgust for the manner of this groveling, the subjugation of the meek by contemptuous weaklings. The path to true greatness lies only in conquering those greater than oneself, and in the doing attaining mastery over one's own failings. War Leader, there's trouble. The Flame Fangs have scented fresh prey. We must sound the call to arms. It seems you shall have the chance to prove your talents, adventurer. Show the Brotherhood your unbending steel. Lungar. Your wish, War Leader. This warrior is known by the name of Lungar. Though her form may be Makote, her soul harbors a raging blaze to match that of any Amalja soldier. We of the Brotherhood know only the struggle for martial perfection. Tribe, clan, gender, these details matter not. Lungar will accompany our newest ally into battle. What? Why choose me for this task? Surely there are others more fitting? Some hatchlings in training, perhaps? Enough! I grow weary of your insolence. Shall I have my blade answer your mewling? No, War Leader, it shall be as you command. Now we shall see you for the charlatan you are. Meet me at the spot on your map. I pray your screams are short-lived. So she's not a fan. One downside about questing here is until you have flight, this is a pain in the ass. There's a lot of like intervening terrain, bridges. This is true of most of the beast tribes. I genuinely think that flights opened up a lot more lack of frustration, at least in the daily grinding aspect. You won't often hear me complain. I'll often make note of it, but I won't often complain about having to go a pretty good distance for a quest once, right? Because it makes sense. You know, you're not necessarily going to have everything around you at your feet all the time. It doesn't make sense for everything to be given to you like that. It would be kind of a cheapening of the experience, right? But when you have to do something repeatedly every day at a very slow clip in order to unlock it, and you have to do the traveling, that's where, okay, I'm like, yeah, fucking, we can speed this up a little bit. That'd be great. Excuse me, we have a hunt here, evidently. Resistant to stuns, are you? Okay. Now you're like, dim apples. Yeah. I don't know if this is my weekly hunt or just one of those 20 seal hunts. We'll see, depending on how much money I get, I suppose. He's not overly challenging, whatever he is. I should have gone with my other Chaos Stress combo. That was the 100. Okay. I'm grabbing those weekly, obviously. I'm grabbing the dailies too, but I'm only really interested in just whatever ones I stumble upon as I happen to go past them. I'm not actively hunting out the dailies every day. If I were a smart man, I'd be doing the 20s at the very least, but it's contented enough for me just to do the others, and I'm fine with that. Okay, let's see what you guys got over here. Not much. Ooh. Hamuji Ga is definitely correct about you. You are very weak. Talk to her real quick. I expected you to die here. Come now, we return to the Ring of Ash. Phew. You made short work of those raiders. I don't know who you are or where you came from, but you have my thanks. I heard the Amalja were snatching folks from the trade routes again, but I thought that it was just my rivals trying to scare me out of business. After all, the road has been safe enough until now. I'll have to hire a guard or two for next time I pass through here. Damn beastmen. Sell sword wages to eat eat into a man's profits. I expected you to... Oh, just said that. And sometimes you do get new dialogue, but sometimes it will just be repeats. This should be enough to unlock the thing, which only took about 10 minutes. And again, love these guys. Great lore. So that being the case, we probably still do have time for Bard then, which is great. I'd like to get that unlocked as well. Get my Bard on. We're like not having over here. What we're missing since we can't get anything. Battle Litany for sure. I was curious about that earlier when I was looking at the Black Mage stuff. Okay. You are no hatchling in battle, that much is obvious. But do not think me so easily impressed. There's the question of your resolve. The Brotherhood of Ash is a conclave of elite warriors. Under the command of Hamujgar, we wage war of attrition against the Zealots of Zanric. Those fallen Amalja build altars and pitch camps wherever they please, convincing themselves that they are the masters of the Holy Land. It must feel brave indeed to challenge none but the weak and undefended. Recall the raiders you but recently faced. They were members of the Flame Fangs, a faction among the Zanric Amalja that, more than any other, delights in kidnappings. Naturally, they also draw the most ire of the Brotherhood. It is our mission to see their ambitions ground into dust and their leaders slain. Indeed, it is the duty of all who would call themselves true Amalja warriors. And now a warning. Do not seek to meddle too deeply in our affairs. This war is not some distraction to be dabbled in by outsiders such as yourself. You think my words unconvincing? You think that I, too, am no Amalja? The Seven Hells with that, with what you think. Go make your report to Hamujgar before he has to find himself a new pet adventurer. Honored ally, news of your battle has spread through the camp. By all accounts, you have fought with uncanny ability. None may now doubt that it was yours who slew the hand of the Raging God. If our cause rings true in your heart, then I would further welcome your aid. Will you unleash your fury alongside the soldiers of the Brotherhood? Well said. Yours is a true warrior's heart. Though we differ in many ways, the foe that we would topple is the same. Let us vow death to the Flame Fangs. Theirs is a fire that cannot be suffered to burn. Okay. You bet your ash. That's cute. So now if we go into character, we go to reputation, we can see our relationship with the Amalja. It takes so long to grind this out. It's shocking. It gets way better later. But each one of these gives me 10 reputation. I can do 3 a day and thereby get 30 reputation. You need 150 just for the first rank of reputation. That's a lot of grinding. But again, I do believe it is worth it. It's some of the better storytelling, I would say, in the entire game is in these beast trap quests. They're very enjoyable. Give me 1 second, guys. Alright, the question is, Sylphs or Ixali? I guess we'll go with whichever one this one is. That'd be Ixali. Lieutenant Bearsong, we have ourselves a situation. Our scouts at Etold Spire have sent word that the Ixal are attacking their position. They report that they were already weathered a sudden strafing run by one of the Bourbon's blasted war balloons. The casualties were high. Have you ever met the Beastmen's dirigibles? The Ixal stock them with explosive munitions, and rain hell on their targets below. Even should they float within bow range, the balloon's skins are thick and difficult to penetrate, though it can be done. Thus the spires we constructed through the Twelveswood are Gordania's first line of defense against assault from the air. It is frustrating indeed, then, that the recent conflicts have left them undermanned. I need you to head into the North Shroud immediately, and lend your strength to the garrison Etot's spire. I am certain Captain Guthrit will appreciate your help. Just to avoid us having to return here, I'm going to go ahead and accept this next one, which is just going to tell us about the Sylphs, tell us to go over to the Sylphs, so. Ah, now here is a man who inspires confidence. It hardens me to see you stride into the Adder's Nest today, for I have a task of considerable breadth and even greater import, a task that calls out for a competent adventurer. Allow me to elaborate. In recent weeks, my eyes have been drawn to unusual movements among the Sylphs, those charming yet troublesome beastmen with whom we share our forest home. In hopes of shedding light on their intentions, be they malicious or benign, I dispatched a young researcher to Little Solace to investigate further. The fellow goes by the name of Voice. Mayhap you have heard of him. It would seem he is rather accomplished in his field. He set out a fortnight ago, and has been sending regular reports ever since, that is, until some 3 days past. Though he was quick to assure me that his prodigious intellect and survival skills would ensure his safety, I cannot help but fear he has come to harm. Such is my request to you. Travel to Little Solace and inquire as to the well-being of our man. Seek out the Sylph Mixio, who was oft acted as an intermediary between our peoples. Now go in safety and haste. The forest holds many dangers these days, more than ever. Again, just picking that up just to go do it. We will probably do the Spire one first here. I really love these, and I'm definitely going to compile them into individual videos. I love the Beastmen. Can't say it enough. I think they're some of the best storytelling in the entire game. People might think me crazy for that one, but definitely some of my favorites for sure. Get some training done real quick. Tried calling me. Hang on. Shows some missed calls from somebody I gave a shit about. Whew, it is so hot. All right. Sorry, it was like 114 here today, so I'm not. It's probably not 100. Probably 104 to be honest, but it feels like 114. All right. And I know you guys can always hear the air conditioner next to me. I sit right next to one. There's really nothing I can do about that, despite moving like my entire essentially recording situation, which I have honestly considered, but it seems to be a low enough buzz that it's not terrible. I do not utilize the fan. That is the only reason I can usually survive in here, out of courtesy to the noise, but it's hot. Leave it at that. Something I did want to talk to you guys about while we have a minute, we're just traveling, is the fishing log. So I've been doing a little bit of it. There's so much of it. The gathering log I've actually done, I think pretty much, obviously not the level 60s I can't reach. I did all the mining up to level 50s, besides the time nodes, which I do still need a little bit of work on. A little bit of botany left as well. And I'll probably do the time nodes sometime this weekend while I'm doing editing, just to kind of get those out of the way as well. But that was enjoyable, but the fishing log's going to take ages and ages. If anybody has any tips, please let me know. Lieutenant Scarlet sent you, did she? Praise Nofika. Though I believe the worst of the danger is past, what few soldiers I command are both wounded and weary. 'Twas a well-placed shaft that was our salvation. The private's arrow managed to puncture a hole clear through the balloon's air bladders, forcing the Ixali vessel to flounder down into the trees. Ha! You could hear the squawking from here. I must admit, however, to feeling a moment of dread at the thought of what the war balloon slipping past and drifting away over the city walls. Thank the gods and a certain private that such a fate did not come to pass. Nevertheless, we are in no shape to repel the Ixal, should they prove to press the attack. Pray head north into Peace Garden and see what has become of their downed craft. Balloon Endeavors.
Whenever they're clustered like this, I just can't help myself. I'm sorry. The intrusive thoughts get me sometimes. They're just so clustered together. I'm like, but I can slay all of you for literally no reason because you give me nothing but animal skins, which I could buy for 99 gil. But they were just so clustered. I was like, I got a Dragonfire dive. I got it. Intrusive thoughts notwithstanding, let's carry on. Did you find the down balloon? Was the vessel yet sound? I'm not sure if this came from the birdsman's craft, or was it part of another contraption entirely. There can, however, be no doubt that it is of Ixali design. War balloons such as the one you saw were invented by the Ixali to exert their dominance over the skies. These vessels allow them to avoid our ground-based patrols and infiltrate the Twelves with impunity. And the Beastmen use them not only for acts of war, but also to haul away the trees felled by their ever-expanding logging operations. It was to combat this unwelcome and destructive presence that we built the guard towers through the forest, though I imagine the Ixal were quite displeased to find our borders thus reinforced. In fact, the primary purpose of this attack may well have been to the destruction of Etat's Spire itself. I am torn, Lieutenant. We must not weaken our defenses here, but I would be certain our enemy does not lurk nearby, awaiting an opportunity for sabotage. I would ask you to once more visit the crash site and search the surrounding area for signs of our foes. I pray that my concerns are not more than the anxious workings of a tired mind.
Squawk! Get away from there, no feathers. Ours to dismantle war balloon is. Touch what is ours. You must not. Rights of salvage, yes. Rights of salvage. Enough. So much screeching and cawing when threatened. Nothing fearless, featherless one has. Squawk, Chief Totalok. Old part we sought. No feather does. Search through wreckage for nothing we did. Weak-bellied fledgling, calm down, you will. Speak with featherless ones, says Ul shall. You could be artisan? No, clothing all wrong. Garb for honest work is not. Walk, raise your weapon not. Ixal we are, but not the same kind that attack your tower. Balloon part you took. Value to you is little, yes. Have it from you, we would. Not by force, no, and not for nothing. We make deal, yes. Inside gate you come. Show you our work in return, says Ul shall. But Chief, mean to let feathers one inside you cannot. Spread our secrets he will. Question chieftain you will not. Says Ul's decision it is. Shut screechy beak before plucked and strung from nearest tree branches you are. Fierce look featherless one has. Look forward to next meeting, Sezzle does. Listen well, no feathers. If cheese trust you betray, flay skin with from worthless bones we shall.
These are probably my second favorite. I'm not doing them in like favorites order, but it just happened to work out that way.
Brave you are to walk into Ixal Den. No such camp existed, you did not, eh? Now have the balloon part, and your name Sezzle would. Yes, yes, search long for this we have. Thank you, Ursa Bearsong. Know you what this is? It is a special stone, used for making instruments to read speed of wind. Only found in Zulfotal. Very rare. Even Klezer Xizul cannot build such instruments without it. Seem confused you do. You wonder why Sezzul not go Zelfatal and fetch stone himself, yes? Tell you why, Sezzul will. We are not like Ixal of Netalon and other places. No fighting with forest people. Outcast we are. Call ourselves Ectol 9. Impressive, yes. Had nicer sound than Ectol 20 or so. But one purpose we have. To fly free like wind. For war with forest people or pleasing greedy goddess we cannot. Fixed on the heavens our eyes are.
I think Carpenter's more thematic for this, honestly.
Mm-hmm. A strange face you make, Ursa. Burning questions you are, yes? Make myself clear I did not, eh? Only natural your suspicion. Many Ixal would simply kill Featherless One and leave corpse for vultures. But think like bird-brained Netalon zealots, clever Sazul and his crew do not. Endlessly wasteful this war with forest people is. Waste of time, waste of resources. Ectel 9 is a group of thinkers, of crafters. This place, Ectel, is place for building dreams. To fly higher than any other Ectel 9's dream. But before we can fly, make wings we must. Good at making things you are, yes. No carpenter when see one. Cecil does. Way of moving, way of looking. Caw. Clothing had Cecil confused at first, though. Creating much better than destroying, yes. But Ixal and Featherless Ones agree on that they can. Have Ursa create something for Ectel 9, Cecil would. Build many things we can, but not everything is possible in a remote camp like this. You know a place called Fallground Float, yes? Fine crafting facility they have. Perfect for making airship hull interior components. Leather-backed plywood is component Cecil needs. Make for strong and durable hull it will. Place order for raw materials with Kieran Merchant and Foreground Float. Cecil has. Ursa need only speak to Junkmonger. Spend on coin you need not. A surprise Cecil has. Protect and support hands when crafty, tricky airship components these gloves will. Even clever carpenter needs help from time to time, eh? Come back soon, Featherless One.
So just like you said, basically go over there, do that real quick, and I have to put on these damnable gloves. At least most of the time, had to put on the gloves. Okay. Very bad tools in the carpenter, but level these tools 8. Oof. Yeah, we'll do goldsmith, at least for the crafting itself.
Master Merchant welcome customer. Birdman Chief tell Master Merchant of Chief Makings. You take things for making and go place and making things. You find making place outside of inn, not inside. Master Merchant thinks you have no time for thinking. Birdman Chief seems ready to burst it seems. Hilliard will give you helpful help.
Downside of all the Beastman races is you get to hear a bunch of my squawky voices, so could be an upside, I suppose, depends on whether or not you like them, but if you don't, this is certainly not going to be the stream for you, I can tell you that in advance. Okay, where are you? Up top. Of course you are. Oh, he said outside. He did say that.
Hello there, adventurer. Come now, I can hardly hear you. Say, hello there. What's that? You wish to make use of a workshop? Well then, seeing as your first time, allow me to give you a brief explanation of what we seek to accomplish here. As I'm sure you are aware, Eorzea is populated with a plethora of artisans who create a range of wonderful wares. The workshop was created with such diversity of craftsmen in mind. No matter your profession, our facility is designed to allow simply anyone to bring in the materials and produce goods that demand an exquisite degree of precision and polish. Our small operation here at the Bob and Cork is only temporary till we can secure a more permanent residence. But I assure you that that everything is fully functional. Now, what exciting project has brought you to me this day? What have we here? Ah, such strange coincidence that you should happen to arrive bearing the very same materials that... Hilderid, have you any word on my delivery? Hmm? And who might this gentleman be? And why does he hold the components materials that I ordered? This is outrageous. You cannot simply swoop in and snatch out the wares I reserved a moon in advance. Hmm? Master Tatarumu, you misunderstand. The adventurer brought along these materials himself. Just brought them along, did he? Poppycock. What would a guild-grabbing mercenary need with an airship hold component material? Only a master engineer with the highest level of skill would be capable of utilizing the potential of such highly specialized items, but I highly doubt that anyone besides myself would have use for them. I shall be gracious, however, and allow that you are some manner of artisan. Pray tell me, what exactly do you intend to craft with these materials? I am, of course, ignoring the fact that your efforts will invariably result in a botched job and wasted resources. Master Tataramu, that is hardly gentlemanly conduct. I shall offer to view the finished product then. Go ahead, sir. Craft your wares. I shall praise the quality of work free of charge. Master Tataramu, I shall become cross with you if you continue in that tone. Here are your materials, sir. I'm sure whatever you create will be absolutely splendid. Whew. Okay, we're now in the details here. Set quests with this one. I'll put on these. That's gonna be a lot, and they suck, so fun times. Being said, we are so ridiculously high level that this should be a pretty easy dealio. Yep. Just shut your lollifel mouth, bitch. Sorry. All done, are we? Now let's take a good look at the travesty you made out of a gods be good. I can scarcely believe it. The craftsmanship is exemplary. Did you say this component is to be used in the construction of an airship? Can't even imagine what type of hull you mean to build. Tell me, adventurer, who commissioned this work from you? I must know. Yeah, probably prefer not to say. The curious reluctance. What harm can come from revealing a client who builds airships? Unless... There was an odd rumor making the rounds amongst the engineers at the company that the group of Ixal had carved out a secret camp in the Black Shroud, or conducting trials of some kind of secret weapon. I thought it idle gossip at the time, but it would appear the tale held merit after all. Your Ixal master seeks to craft an airborne vessel of war. I will not allow it. Transforming the wonder of air travel into a means for delivering death is blasphemy of the highest order. Oh. Master Tataru, what do you mean to do? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to march right into the secret camp and give these blasted birdmen a good telling off. You best stay out of my way. But you cannot simply... When it comes to airships, I'm afraid Master Tataramu's passion overwhelms his capacity for common sense. I wonder if he has any idea where he's even going. Here, you'd best take your finished components and complete the delivery. Your appraiser appears to have forgotten in his haste to rush off to chastise the Ixal. Just who is Master Tataramu? I could tell you, but that wouldn't be very exciting, now would it? Perhaps you might ask him yourself. Yeah, we are definitely not doing Bard tonight. Let's look at the time. We still have 3 more quests after this to do. Some of them are longer than others. This is probably a fairly longish one, but even so, that'll put the stream down pretty late. Oop. My god. I mean, not fuck with these Dryads. Or Super Dryad over here. Okay, that's close. Returned you have. Able to craft components you were. Made this you did. Yes, serve us well, this will. Begin construction on hull we can. I finally found you. I never realized just how big this forest was. Who is small, angry fester this one? Never mind who I am. 'Tis you who are on trial here. Are you not the Ixali master who seeks to build a death-dealing airship and bring war and destruction to Gridania? Have you no respect for the virtuous field of engineering? Your uncouth plan will irrevocably sully weapons on an airship. Simply monstrous. Mind your tongue, you shall. Making airships with weapons Sezul has not been telling tall tales, someone has. Do not deny it. I have seen how the Ixals stole our technology to build those horrendous war balloons. Your kind know naught but killing and mayhem. Blather too much, angry one does. See's not enough. Look at design under own feet, you should. This schematic contains elements of both dirigible and airship. I've never seen the like. Hybrid vessel, Dezul Quelon it is. Fly very high it shall. Ceiling altitude of 5,000 yalms. 5,000 yalms? That's impossible! An unattainable fantasy. We even Master Garland's enterprise cannot reach such heights. You speak of visiting the heavens themselves. Yes, the heavens. Rap on God's front door we shall. Knock, knock. Ayatollah, floating continent of legends it is. High, high above clouds. Place where Sezul's ancestors once lived. Return to Ixal's lost paradise we shall. All-consuming goal of Sezul's people it once was. But this dream, shared now by few it is. Rather worship mad goddess Garuda and squabble with featherless ones. The Talon Ixal would. Waste of life, Sezul says. Help Ectol 9 build balloon airship hybrid and return to the distant sky other Ixal should. What an incredible idea. You have such vision. Such zeal. Sezul, I have misjudged you. You must let me work with you. I will see this dream of yours become a reality. Oh, the little Lullafell thing. That's so cute. Wish to join Sezul's crew, do you? Possess some skill at crafting, do you? Yes? Yes, I have studied airship design most extensively. And though my practical experience is mentally limited, I vow that there are none who outmatch my passion for the craft. Important passion is, but knowledge, too, you must have. Work hard as others, Sezul will. Be spared for your size you will not. Thank you, sir. You won't regret this. Tataramu, at your service. And what of Ursa? Impressed with work Sezul is. Enjoy crafting with Sezul's gloves, did you? Like second skin, yes. Protect hands, but allow artists to make delicate and difficult movements, they do. Agree to help Ectol 9 build Dezul Kolon, and let Ursa keep gloves, Sezul will. What say you, Featherless One? Sprout wings and fly with us, yes? Feathers of the spirits we share. Hard to imagine to look as us now. It is, but an age when Ixal flew on proper wings on their own, there once was. Sad then the wrath of elementals we incurred. Banished from the forest and stripped of our gift of flight we were. With younglings hatched outside forest, something wrong there was. Stunted their feathers were, but lost desire to soar, Ixal never did. In place of lost wings, great balloons Sezul's forefathers made. Such ingenuity. Seek to continue the legacy Ectol 9 does. But forgotten joy of crafting own wings, the Talon Ixal have. Grovel instead to goddess they do, grovel and beg. Fools! Grant them new wings, Garuda never will. Seek only to increase her might, the goddess does. Always more sacrifices, always more crystals. Nothing more than slaves the Talon Ixal are. But not Ectol 9, no. Soar once again we shall. Within Dezul Kalan, our salvation, our waking dream lies. Work hard, and see history written Ursa shall.
So they're a little bit more interesting in that they do have a lot more, I think, to offer in terms of, like, rewards. Probably, for rewards, the best option. And it's really satisfying to see this come together as well. Lots Hole has begun. Continue assisting the Ectol 9 to see the airship hybrid reach completion. And it will build as you increase in your, like, rank or whatever. It will continue to build, which is very cool. Love that. So... this one is also easier to level up, because if you notice, there are 2 here. So, Beast Tribe allotment, you have 12 daily allowance. It resets, whatever reset resets. You usually want to try to use all of them. So, these are worth, this is worth 1, this one here. It also rewards ventures.
which is immensely useful. I don't need to tell you. This is probably, I would recommend, even if you're just passively leveling with just this one, just do that. Like, you'll get there eventually, and it's great, great help. So you take it from this guy, right? You go over to this dude, and you just give him shit. All kinds of things count for this, but really, you can just take anything. Let's see this one. So quota today, I think. What do you say the quota was? Let's look at our quest. Quota's 30. So I just need 30 quota. I might have shit for just crafting this in my hands, because really anything here will do it. So this star one, let's try that one. Search for crafting method. Hepatites. I have this on hand. It's super easy. Very easy craft. I just make 3 of them, right? I just need to get to a mender. Or not a mender, a summoner bell, and I'm good to go. So let's go ahead and go take the Sylph's quest line real quick. But first, pop into New Gridownia. Gridownia. Let's go over this way. I'm gonna grab a summoner bell. How's the training coming? 35 more minutes. And I don't plan on doing, again, I don't plan on doing the daily repeatables in this. It would take entirely too long. But just to give you guys an idea, this specific one is very easy to do, and I would strongly recommend doing it. Put you on this little path real quick. Let's see here. Here, far, ever you are. Yarn, cloth, and hemp and yarn. And again, looks just absurdly easy. Just hemp and yarn. Make some hemp and tights. A little on this. I think it was a 5. Yep. It's definitely hemp and tights, I was going to say. I don't think it was called that. There it is at the very bottom. Okay, quick synthesis, because I've already made 2, or 1. So there's only that, and we'll make 3. Ooh, a little side benefit, too, is you can craft these on anything and then just put the experience on whatever crafter you want to. I'd recommend whatever crafter you find the hardest to level be the one that gets the experience. It's generally smarter. Turn that in real quick again so I can show you guys how that functions, and then we will carry on with the sylphs, and then we have 1 more after that, yes? That'll be 3, yes. We should have 1 more after that if I'm not mistaken. Wow! No, there are 2 more after that, that's right. There's one of them that is my least favorite, you'll notice because I just forgot about them. We'll do that one dead last. Oh, the joy. Okay. Also, you can view that quota right here. So you can also come, look at it before you even come out here. It makes it easier. That's an extremely negligible amount of experience because I'm already level 50. But if you don't already have level 50, this is an excellent way to get experience, we'll say. Right now, not so useful for us. But 2 ventures a day, just for that. Super easy. Matter of fact, I think all of these give you ventures, don't they? Yep. Not 2, but yeah, all these will give you 1. So it's another reason to do these daily. It's a quick way to get your ventures up. Even after you've capped their stats, you can still do them, and that way you get more stuff, because you do want to definitely have a lot of their currency. Some of the ways you can make money in this game with beast tribes is insane, because if you ever noticed an item, I could probably find one in my inventory if I looked hard enough. I know bomb ash is one of them for certain, and that's very useful for making steel. But yeah, specifically monster drops are one that you're going to want to keep an eye out for. So if you look at shop selling price, you see how it says none, or it'll give me a number. There we go. 514 restricted, right? That means that there's a shop somewhere that you can buy mithril ingots, right? But you have to have some sort of prerequisite. That prerequisite is almost invariably either a sort of Grand Company or Fate locked out system, or much more likely a Beast Tribe quest, where you can come over to a Beast Tribe merchant and purchase it from the Beast Tribe merchant. That's way more common. You go up to the city, yeah. Look way closer where I'm standing than this, but okay. Walking one walks with strength and purpose, yes? But this one is a busy one. States one case and state it quickly. Scholar walking one is looking for smart one, yes? This one knows no smart one. This one does know bumbling, stumbling one. But what business would anyone have with that one? Stumbling one's whereabouts? Why, right over... wherever did that one bumble off to? Bumbling one's likely stumbled off to see Elder One. Stumbling one is always bothering Elder One with silly questions. Bothersome one's blathering makes less sense than babbling brook, this one thinks. Ah, brave one has returned to these ones. This one is honored. What a brave one's deeds have often come to little Solus. These ones are honored to call brave one friend. Brave one is searching for scholarly one? Brave one cannot possibly mean that one. This one has met many walking ones, and that one has all the wit of a windgrat. 3 days ago, witless one stumbled off to the Sylphlands, babbling something about research. This one knows little of research, but this one does know that Sylphlands are no place for walking ones. The witless walking ones that much less. Yes, these ones' ancient home is now the domain of touched ones, and those ones mean danger for those ones walking and ones alike. This one tried to stop this one, but this one's ears are stuffed with beeswax. It's basically a guy got in over his head because he's really excited, is my assumption. Whoops. Okay, I'll mix you. Bumbling one set off for Sylphlands. Bumbling one is even dumber than this one thought. Touch ones will greet bumbling one with boom and sizzle. These bumbling one will be crispy one. This one thinks it is for the best. These ones will have one less worry. Walking one will go in search of that one. This one is confused. Take this one's word. That one is not worth the trouble. Walking one is certain. Then this one will not stand on walking one's way. But heed this one's warning. Be wary of dead one. Be wary, or dead ones will number 2. Meaning I'll die as well. Phrasing that's a little different. Walking ones will go truly in search of bumbling one. This one thought walking one was making joke. Like the time this one stole bumbling one's undergarments. This one does not understand what walking one is thinking. This one would leave bumbling one to bumbling one's own, on one's own. But, oh well, to each one's own. This one saw bumbling one stumble off towards Lark's Call, between this place and the touch one's home. Bumbling one is probably there shivering in stockings, if bumbling one found stockings anyway, which this one doubts. Be warned, walking one. The trees have eyes, and report to touch ones. Walking one should not rush too quickly to bumbling one's aid, lest walking one fall into nasty trap. Yeah, this is quite a cool storyline. Everything that happens here, I like it quite a bit. The Sylphs are not my favorite in terms of their actual culture. I think there is a much better beast tribe in Shadowbringers that embodies a lot of the same ideals. They even look somewhat similar if you're not paying close attention. But they have the same sort of lore origins. I find them a lot more interesting. But Walking One scribbles letters. Maybe Walking One is smart one that everyone is talking about. Smart one? Ha! Smart one would not stumble so stupidly into these one's domain. Someone help me! They'll eat me alive! Shush, stupid one. These ones have no need for eating. Or did stupid one not read that in stupid one's paper stacks? Stupid one is even stupider than this one thought. Now answer this one. Stupid one tries to sneak into these one's home and kidnap chosen one's podling, yes? Stupid one will confess, or stupid one will be shocky, sizzly one. The chosen one, podlings, what a... Did this one know it, or did one not know it? But this one Or I'm just repeating what you... Silence. This one here, sneaky one. What goes on there? This one knows boss one. This one has been seen walking Little Solace. Walking one is strange, not like the stupid one. Bah, this one will deal with stupid one another day. Let us, let these ones be off. Oh, friend, how can I ever repay you? Well, I thought it was a goner for sure. Whatever you suppose got into those sylphs, the bestiaries describe them as a carefree, fun-loving folk, and my rather limited first-hand experience has been the same. But do tell to whom do I owe the debt of gratitude? An adventurer dispatched by the order of the Twin Adder on behalf of little old me? You say. Bless the commander, always looking out for his charge. While I'd like nothing more than to continue this conversation, would you mind terribly if we did so back at Little Solace? This place is giving me the heebie-jeebies. Smartest thing you've said, sir. I will say, while I do appreciate the Sylphs storyline, and again, their culture is pretty cool, I hate their questing. They have easily, in my opinion, the worst questing. The kobolds might be similar, I suppose, or the kobolds, the goblins, but theirs is pretty bad. A lot of unnecessary buffs that slow you down, a lot of carrying shit, but you can't get hit. Fortunately, y'all don't have to deal with that. Y'all just get the stories by your beats. You're welcome. Oh, hello. I say it's good to see you in one piece, friend. Oh, but where are my manners? I haven't even properly introduced myself. Voice, Gridania's foremost scholar in Sylphic customs and lore. At your service. Well, at least that's what I told the commander when I volunteered for this mission. Just between you and me, I'm actually rather new to the field. But I've long been fascinated with the cute little critters. And though this is the perfect opportunity to make a new name for myself. Which reminds me, I was still thumbing through one of the tomes I borrowed from Stillglade Fane when I came across a particularly fascinating passage of a legendary sylph who is said to possess such power that she controls the very fate of her people. Now, I realize this might sound crazy, but I couldn't help but wonder if this might be the self-same Chosen One that frightful sylph was. Chosen One? Yes, well does this one know the legend. Chosen One, the one who embodies the spirit of all trees that ever have lived or ever will live in these one's forest home. Once every 10,000 years does Chosen One sprout forth, to lead these ones onto a new era before returning to slumber. Birth and rebirth, such is the cycle of these one's civilization. 10,000 years, eh? So it was the last recorded sighting of the Chosen One was... Yes, that would mean that the next rebirth would occur in, just give it a moment now. Yes, carry the one and... Elder One, could it be that the rebirth of the Chosen One is nigh? The Touched Ones are plotting something. Well, I believe our Sylph friend here has the right of it. This one does not like this at all. Something must be done. Something, yes, something indeed must be done. And as many questions of import remain to be answered, such as, where might we find this Chosen One? And what's the true nature of the power she holds? And most importantly of all, where, pray tell, did I misplace my underclothes? I know not if this is related to the coming of the Chosen One, but the Chosen One is terribly chilly these days. But regardless, I swear now that I shall remain at Little Solace until the mysteries are unraveled. 'Twas not dumb luck that I had chosen for this task. No, the esteemed leaders of my nation, I knew that. I knew that they... it is rather cold, isn't it? If you allow me a moment's respite. So yeah, this Chosen One thing is interesting. So, whoops. I also like their mount. It's a bit goofy, but it's cool. So, this one is worried. If Chosen One falls into the hands of Touched Ones, it could mean the end of these ones. This one would see the safety of Little Solace. The search for Chosen One, this one would trust to Walking One. Coughing One sprouts big words, but has not the strength to save these ones. This one could be seen by anyone. And so this one turns to Walking One. Will Walking One help these ones? Count on me. Thank you, Walking One. Walking One is true friend to these ones. This one will not forget kindly other one's kindness.
Little Solus. Self-conscious. That's cute. Again, by the way, that one Exalt quest, pop right up, like to 70. Wild. It's really quick. Like to the point where I don't know what I'm going to do about progressing the Exalt outside of the stream, because it's going to be difficult not to. But we'll just have to focus on not doing that. The Exalt will probably be one that I have to tell as part of like the start of most of the MSQ streams, just because I can't think of any other way to handle it. Shit, fucking flies. But either way, aft castle, that's where we need to go. Okay. Eorzea, I know not what brings you to Maelstrom Command this day, but I can hardly fault your timing. Aye, we have a situation on our hands, we do. Not days ago, a convoy of ours was ambushed en route to Limsa, and a goodly shipment of saltpeter plundered from our very hands. Scurvy dogs responsible for the act struck swiftly and under darkness, so we've yet to figure out who they are, much less bring them to justice. Saltpeter, as you know, is a key ingredient in fashion and fire sand. Whatever our foe might be plotting, like as not, it involves an arty share of fiery death and destruction. Command has dispatched an elite regiment to the field to investigate, but clues are pointed harder to come by than a half-decent pint of ale at sea. Leading the investigation is a good comrade of mine. While I'd like nothing more than to lend the strength to the search, I can't very well shirk my duties here. If you find yourself itching for adventure, you could do worse than make up for Swift Perch and seek out Lieutenant Skyswitz. Just say Trackrit sent you. You'll be able to say your name to do that, I suppose. No, not him. You? Just wanted to see the Maelstrom clothing. It's difficult to find. Anyway. Biscuits. Your hearing must be exceptional, though, sir. Did not overhear the Link Pearl report, then why will... Never more matter. You are here now, and you could certainly use your aid. I have just received word that raiders have sunk a civilian vessel in the Strait of Northor. One of our warships is en route as we speak, though I fear there will be little left for them to find. I am uncomfortably familiar with the tales of pirates looting and even commandeering their targets, but to sink the ship entirely, an excessively brutal act, even for a buccaneer. No, I'd wager cold hard coin that thrice-damned fishbacks are behind this. Them and their serpent reaver lackeys. Does Hagen have much to answer for? Vengeance will be forthcoming, but let us first focus on rescuing what poor souls we may. While the warship scouts the waters, I would have you head to eastern Lenosia and look for any survivors washed up on the sands of Bloodshore. One of my soldiers, Private Wilfolk, had been deployed to the coordinates to search. Speak with him when you arrive, and we will direct your efforts to where they are most needed. May Lemayan guide your steps. I get so tongue-tied whenever I'm reading these guys. Okay, they're going to be further away than this, so we'll start out here, because I know they're going to start out over there in the other, so. Making good progress, though. We're almost unlocked the other two, and then we'll call it. Like I said, we're not doing Bard tonight, because that'll probably likely take another hour, and I don't want to be streaming for 4 to 5 hours on a bonus stream. It gives us something to do later. Maybe we can do Bard and Black Mage at the same time. That doesn't sound like a bad idea at all. I might actually try for that. Oh. What's this? Okay. Oh, shit. Real quick then. The only downside about this is that I have to go a little bit longer without having adequate Bard outfitting. 'Tis okay. So let's see what level you get. So this is all locked, basically. So Bard, essentially everything is locked. Even Reign of Death, which is a really good thing to have for dungeons, is locked until I can do the other. That's a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. We'll probably do another bonus stream then, sometime, maybe Monday. Oh no, Monday's a terrible day for that. Just to get the Bard unlocked before we do the MSQ. A couple of reasons why I'd want to do that, but let's carry on for a second. You're one of Commander Ricky said to expect, then. I'm Will Falk, private in the Commander Foreign Levy. As you can see, there ain't much for me to coordinate. The fishbacks made a good mess of the ship, and seemed barely a handful of the poor buggers what was sailing on it made ashore alive. Where am I? Where is Robin? Where is my son? You just calm yourself down, good wife. We'll have your boy back in your arms before you can spit another lungful of seawater. The tide's been merciful to a fortunate few like the good wife's here, and carried them all the way to the beach. Here, you'll be needing some medical supplies for the bleeding and the injured. Take a walk along the coast now and help any that are beyond helping. Ain't beyond helping. Ah, my shoulder burns. Don't take my arm, I'm begging you. I can feel my fingers again. Those gutless fishbacks. They were over the rail and swinging before I could stammer out a prayer to the navigator. See, that one's dead. I made it. One moment we were sailing along, happy as please. Next, I was struggling to keep my head above the waves. You are dead, I'm guessing. Oh, no, you're alive. Barely breathing, but you're alive. Thank you. Which of the seven heavens is this? Bloodshore? Oh. They slam me into the rocks. Cut me up some, I think. Is it bad? Bad enough I'm using potion on you, apparently. Thanks. I feel much stronger now. All I remember is an impact like a bloody thunder, the deck lurching beneath my feet. Then they came aboard. You saved some lives this day, lad. It's a terrible thing what happened, but we may yet take solace that you came with little victories. Not that any amount of solace will have me forgiven those blasted fishbacks. You expected attack on the Navy. That's what we signed up for. But sinking a civilian ship with women and children aboard. The Sahagin have ice water for blood, I tell you. No, not by little Robin. My condolences, good life. I know it's hard, how hard this must. Leviathan, scaly arse. Sahagin, here. What, you didn't get your fill of slaughter on the straits? You want to finish the job you started, then you best start with me. Psh. Mum! Robin! My darling Robin! Mom, there you are. Oh, my dear Robin, you're safe. Thank the 12 above.
Lad's alive. What manner of fishback trickery is this? This is like top 3 for sure for me. These guys. I don't know. I really like all of them, besides one, if you couldn't tell. I'm fine. I'm a bit wet. I thought I would sink right to the bottom of the ocean. But then the nice fishermen came and saved me. They were not like the scary ones that came out after our ship. But the stories say that all fishermen are nasty. Isn't that odd? Might I ask you a favor? Found this necklace at the bottom of the little boat the fishermen used to carry me to the shore. I'm certain it must be one of theirs. I take it to them myself, but I don't think my mom would like that. Could you maybe return it for me? Last I saw, they were swimming straight toward western Eorzea. They must be somewhere. They must be where they live. I wonder if the house is made of seaweed. That's reasonable assumption. I don't think they are, but you know, you get the idea. Put on the exact same class mark on. And that should be all 5, right? There are 5? I'm reasonably certain there are 5. Achievements. Sets. I know there are tied to this, I just don't know which ones they are. There's so many different things. Ah, there we go. There was sylphs. Kobolds, yep. The Hagen, Exol, the Negotiator, yeah, let's put all of them together. And okay. Oh yeah, that's my absolute least favorite, the Gundu, but I'll get into that way later. Oh my god, the Gundu. I'm gonna have to do the Gundu. The torture. They're real bad, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway. What's the meaning of this trespass? I would secure you where you stand, Findus one. You carry necklace of Clutchfather Nov. How is it you possess this treasure? You come at the behest of the child he saved? Such unusual manners for Shorewalker. You may pass. Seek out Clutchfather Nov and be sure to keep your tongue respectful. He is the elder of our clan. It is to see Shorewalker in our midst. I am Nov, Clutchfather to this clan of spawnlings. Ah, the Finless bid you return my necklace, did he? Psh. No, I had no special reason for saving the boy. Only that for the Sahagin as it is for you Shorewalkers. Offspring are considered the most precious of treasures. All that resides here are bound by ties of blood. All the children of the Clutchfather. Only slightly less precious to me than my own spawn is the trinkets you brought. It was a gift, a commendation from our beloved matron. I thank you for returning it to me. We have a saying, the favor of one is repaid by the gratitude of the clutch. I welcome you to our home. Perhaps a modest banquet is in order. I do not know, however, if our spread will agree with your Shorewalker's stomach. You witnessed the aftermath of the attack at the Strait of Melthor? Yes, it was indeed perpetrated by Sahagin. Individuals responsible called the Coral Tritons. They reside in the Suspark spawning grounds, and are known among our people as volatile and fanatical faction. We had hoped to prevent them from ever reaching that vessel, but alas, the current was not in our favor. Foolishness, their actions only invite further violence through retaliation. And what of Nov and his clutch, you ask? We live apart from the spawning grounds and pursue a separate agenda. I do not claim to understand the structure of your civilization, but for us, the Hagen, each clan of Clutchmates is led by a single Clutch Father. The Indigo Matriarch, what you might call our queen, bestows each of our eggs upon only the bravest and most seasoned warriors. It is then the Clutch Father's duty to raise and instruct his charges in the ways of our people. But for the cycle to continue, the matriarch must have a secure environment in which to bear her offspring. That is why we chose to make this land our home. It is unfortunate then that this spawning grounds, that's a fucking mouthful, Sapsa. The Sapsa spawning grounds have become the locus of such conflicts. If only more shorewalkers were like you and spent a moment to understand our situ. Clutch Father, I need your counsel. What have I taught you, Sue? The Hagen does not flail and splash about, so he rolls with the waves and rides the currents. Forgive me, Clutch Father, it is Puyu, our sixth youngest brother. What of him? He has left the nursery without permission. He spoke of talking sense into the coral tridents. He is a brain as soft as the spawning scales, and this is a time when I could not afford to take my eyes off the rest of the Clutch. Though our stance towards each other is not yet clear, Shorewalker, I would ask a boon of you. Save my foolish son. Sue here will have more to say on the subject, I am sure. You have no scales, and yet the Clutch Father seems to trust you. I shall do the same. And you just heard my brother Payu was taken upon himself to educate the Coral Tridents. He is one of our more impetuous spawn brothers, and yet young, he does not realize the peril he has put himself in. The Tridents will not listen to Payu's reasoning. They will laugh and they will impale him on their spears. Please bring Payu back to safety to the nursery. By now he must be some distance across land base, closer to North Tide Gates. Concerns you not, Shorewalker. Away with you, Finless One. Rescued by a Shorewalker? What am I to tell Clutch Father Nov? Spawn Brother Sue bid you come to my aid? I do not understand these Coral Trident warriors. I scarce opened my maw before they proceeded to beat me bloody. The Clutch Father always says that the currents of discussion carry us to enlightenment, but it seems the words of a spawnling count for little and less. I simply wanted to put into practice what my Clutch mates and I have been taught. Now I surely face a punishment in addition to my beating. Jumping. Okay. Here we are. Welcome back, Shorewalker. You are kind to endanger yourself, though you owe us no such loyalty. Payu will be appropriately disciplined for his reckless actions. No more than ever, the Sahagin must act with caution and wisdom. Many of our people reside peacefully within our city in the Indigo Deep, but our civilization faces a steady and treacherous decline. We must venture onto land to secure spawning grounds to lay our eggs, and build nurseries to raise our young. It is an essential element of our breeding cycle, and an instinct too powerful to ignore. Our traditional spawning grounds were, however, annihilated by the calamity. Thus we were forced to seize this new location, the region the Finless ones call Western Eorzea. It is not surprising that the Shorewalkers view our sudden aggressive expansion as not more than an invasion, but the seemingly unprovoked attack on the territory is, in truth, a desperate struggle for survival. Without this land, without a place to rear offspring, the Sahagin race is doomed. We are in no position to wage war against the Shorewalkers. We must accept a parley and learn to exist side by side. The Coral Tridents, as you have no doubt realized, do not comprehend the merits of diplomatic approach. They seek only to control the weak of mind, those like their brutal serpent reavers, and slaughter all others who oppose them. Do not mistake me as a traitor to my own kind. I hold no love for Finless ones. I shed no salty tears with the great Leviathan is summoned, and the Lord of Oil gathers new drowned shorewalkers to his fold. But conflict with your people is not the answer to our woes. We must look beyond the present and ensure calmer waters, waters in which the future of our race can thrive. Shorewalker, your arrival is a precious gift. I would have become the first stone in the bridge I hope to build between our peoples, and the rock which blunts the mindless spears of the Coral Tridents. I pray you, lend us your aid. Your presence is most welcome, Shorewalker. My warriors are eager, but lack the experience to engage such vicious opponents as the Coral Tridents. We will halt the Zealots' advance at the shoreline and begin to repair the damages they have done to our chance at peace. There is much and more ahead, but together we can put an end to this meaningless bloodshed.
Okay, one more. Glad I decided already not to do Bard because, yeah, we'd have been going pretty late. Yeah, these guys are really cool. I love Clutch Father Nov. It's somewhat similar, I will say. There's a lot of corollaries between him and Hamujga. They have similar driving goals, but they are different in subtle ways. So Hamujga is very, like, doesn't give a shit about his race, really. Not really. He embodies the ideals of personal excellence and victory over, like, somebody who you perceive to be a worthy opponent, right? Clutch Father Nov doesn't really care about humans at all. He's very pragmatic. He just wants a calm setting to help raise his people up. That's all he wants. So, interesting. But anyway. Carry on here. The man take the lot of ye. You've had me believe that there's not a single piece of evidence of this entire God's forsaken omelette. And who might you be? An adventurer come on behalf of old Trackerit? Who said I was looking for help anyway? Trackerit did. Ha! I'll save you both knew that it's all clear skies and smooth sailing here. Aye, I was just about to file my report to... Aye, who am I fooling? No one. A good tons of saltpeter has been snatched from our hands, like as not by someone who'd use it to sink our fair Limsa to the bottom of the sea. All right, I'll share with you what my men have gleaned. Though I warn ye, it ain't much. Given the scope of the act, we believe that it was coordinated effort by a well-trained group. What's more, given the sheer speed with which the scurvy thieves vanquished from our sight, I reckon that they've knowledge of passage unknown to us. I had me hopes up that my men would have found something, but they've had no such luck. What say ye? Care to take a look around and see if you can find the evidence of me aft line of thrice daft subordinates couldn't? Let's see here. Oh, there it is.
I mean, I'm not gonna blame him for not seeing that. I honestly didn't know that was there. I was just like, well, let me just go around the outskirts and I'll go inside the building. Which, apparently you can't go inside anyway. Whew. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, so was it? Well, finding the evidence that you could shed some light on our investigation. I don't know why she's become Jamaican all of a sudden. What have we here? A pickaxe, and a rather sorry-looking one at that. Do you reckon it was left behind by the perpetrators? In my time at the Maelstrom, I've confronted just about every pirate, brigand, and highwayman in these parts, but I've known none of them to employ a tool like this. No, I'd rather we found at the winch that our band of grubby little thieves ain't no ordinary men. It's all becoming clear to me. And yourself, no doubt. Tell me, so what would you be thinking? Rogue Rogadin. I know you were a sharp one. Aye, the moment I laid eyes on that pickaxe you found, me mind was convinced. The primitives make this tool. It's an all-healthy interest in explosives. All signs point to the rat-faced rapscallions being behind this. It's so bloody obvious now that I could almost kick myself and be good for another men for not coming to the conclusion sooner. But this is hardly the time for whinging. No, we must strive quickly if we mean to reclaim what's ours. Camp Overlook is our front line of defense against those tunnel-burrowing thieves. If anyone has a notion of where they've taken the saltpeter and how they plan to use it, it'll be Commander Bluedian. I'm off to deliver me report, but I've an hunch our job has only begun. What say you come along, Eorzea? You're the first capable man I've worked with today. Oh, thank you. I'm flattered, m'lady. Far and away, in terms of the questing, the rewards, I don't know, the carriage is pretty cool. But the questing, certainly, and the personality, these are my least favorite of the beast tribes. Of ARR, at least. There is one that's worse, but at least they're somewhat funny. Make it quick, adventurer. As you can see, I got my hands full with our little friend here. This is an outrage, a farce, an atrocity, an outrage. This is an insult, and we kobolds will not stand for it. No, stand no more. You'll not have legs to stand on if you don't quit your blabbering and spill the truth about whatever it is you scurvy rats are plotting. Plotting? There is no plotting. No, we plot nothing. Nothing, not nil, nothing. Enough. Unlike you and your ilk, I have a working pair of eyes and at least half of me wits about me. You think I've not seen you blasting and scurrying around Ogomora of late? Commander Rudian, sir. Sky Swiss. Aye, it's a treat to see me old trainee, but I fear a brewing kobold plot demands me attention. Eorzea ears just might be to help ye with that, Commander. I trust you've heard the news of a missing shipment of saltpeter. So she knows this cannot be. Ha! I knew it! You endless tongue wagglers finally dug your own grave. It was not us. No, not us. It was them. Yes, them. What nonsense is this? Beady eyes, fizzy tail, and a penchant for causing trouble? Kobold's a kobold. This is not so. No, no, no. Not so. There are kobolds, and then there are kobolds. And then there are kobolds still. It is the low ones who stole your precious saltpeter. The ones who live down below. Beneath and below. Come to think of it, me scouts did mention a particularly scraggly band of kobolds what seemed to have made their home at the cliff base. Yes, yes, that is the place. Look at his face. They definitely do look like gremlins. That is the place. That is the home of the 789th. They are the worst of the worst. They are the most stinky, smelly, scummy, stinky, and ugly, too. Commander, as the presiding officer in the investigation, I request permission to go below and investigate this so-called 789th. Furthermore, I would enlist this adventurer to join me, as he's proven himself capable, and it would seem we go against a worthy foe. As you please, Lieutenant, but I warn you, be careful down there. The sight of a kobold won't strike fear into anyone's heart, but their bite and their bombs are far worse than their bark. Understood, Commander. Will not let you down. And with that, I take my leave, till sea swallows all. Well, Eorzea, you ready to take out the scurriest band of kobolds in Eorzea? You'd best be, because I'm counting on you to make yourself useful.
Don't have to forgive me. I love doing that. It's stupid, but I love it.
Well, well, what have we here? 1, 2, 3 crates of saltpeter. It seems our kobold informant spoke true. What the? Surrounded. Stand ready, Eorzea. Are you just gonna stand there squeaking at me all day? Fight with honor or die like the rats you are. There are no alternatives, choices, options, alternatives, such as perhaps surrender? Yes, yes, surrender. We surrender. Did you just say surrender? Yes, we surrender, yield, submit, surrender. What in the seven hells? An inkling as to why and wherefores, but it seems the notorious 789th is keen to return their plunder without me so much as a fight. I, for one, would have been opposed to cracking a few kobold skulls, but considering the strained relations between Limps and these little buggers these days, who could argue with good diplomacy? Any road, I'll report back to Commander Bluiden and arrange for the transport of the supplies. Aye, and with a reliable escort this time. In the meantime, why don't you ask around and see what you can learn about our newcomers? After all, they don't seem like as half-imposing as I expect their leader, least of all. Best of luck, Eorzea, till sea swallows all. You are still here? We have surrendered, yes? Yielded, submitted, surrendered? You will not hurt us, yes? Ooh, I am relieved, reassured, relaxed, relieved. And who am I, you ask? I am Gigu. And Gigu is the foreman of the 789th. Leader in name, yes, but no more. No more, for in truth no one listens to Gigu. Gigu is ignored, invisible, insulted, ignored, incompetent too. The 789 stole your precious boom powder. Yes, yes, we did. And yet we had good cause for doing so. An excuse, a reason, a cause. Ours is a peaceful order by nature. The 789 troubled no one, and no one troubled us. No one until now. Now we have been driven from the tunnels, exiled to this place that sinks of soil and seawater. But you are a stranger, and I rambled too much too soon. No, I will speak no more. Go now and leave Juju to his suffering, his pain, his shame, his suffering. You are still here? Yes, yes, you are. You would hear the sad tale of Juju in the 789th? Then listen, listen, and weep and cry, sob, cry, weep. You think your people have it rough? You know nothing at all. Ours is a world of kobold eat kobold, yes? Ours is a constant struggle, a labor, a toil, a struggle for survival. Dig, and we dig in ore riches, but dig well, and we are rewarded. Better digs are given us, and more weight do our words carry. Dig poorly, and we are shunned, reviled, scorned, shunned. You know that the kobold orders have numbers, yes? Yes, yes, you know. The smaller the number, the greater the order. You'll find this curious, but that is the kobold way. How many orders, you ask? Yes, how many? 789 we have, and not one more. We exist at the backside of kobold society, the bottom, the rear, the backside. And so from the tunnels we are driven. Dig more, find more, make more wealth for your betters. Then you come home, they say. But this dry vein holds no treasure, no, nothing. Meanwhile, our kin in Orgrimmar hoard treasure so great they toss gold away, toss it away like garbage. Yes, their trash is our treasure. Any moment now we will be judged on our hull, but our sack is empty, barren, bare, empty. You must go down to the dig and bring back something, anything for us. I beg of you, yes, even the shabbiest scraps will do.
Again, not a fan of the kobolds. It's just, I'm not a fan.
The Velociraptor.
something. There. Lots of gathering. But yeah, kobolds are definitely my least favorite. I like Titan's music. That's about the only thing I like about kobold culture. It's sort of brutal, utilitarian, but not exactly unique, and it's kind of annoying, to be honest. The mines itself don't help, but they're certainly not endearing me to them by having to go through that fucking labyrinth every time I want to go inside of it. But in general, they're my least favorite. Still a story worth telling, though. You notice that no time that I say, oh, well, they're not worth doing. You should probably still do them. You should still enjoy the story. But if you had to pick one to skip, it would be this one for me. From dawn till dusk we dig, and yet our barrows are empty. Bare and empty. We are not welcome down below, but you will find something for us. Yes, you must. Would it be? Yes, it could. But these dirty lumps, chunk scraps, long exceed our haul from the past 3 moons. You have many thanks, adventurer. My gratitude. Oh, but you must not leave so soon. No longer. You must stay, persist, sojourn, stay. Until Zogar has come and gone. Who is Zogar, you ask? Zogar is giant among kobolds. A beast, a brute, giant. So smart, so strong, and so is Zogar. That his order surges to the top of the clan rank. Zogar would lead us all into a new era of prosperity. Or so Zogar claims. But this is a sham. Yes, Zogar cares only for Zogar. Weak you are, Zogar will trample you. Throw you away. Yes, Zogar stomps all over us. Tramples, stomps, stamps. This is why you must stay, adventurer. Stay and watch over us from the shadows. Must I, though? Must I, though? Suppose I must. It's funny, though, he called me a traveler. Comely kobold lass. You've got to be kidding me. This place reeks, stinks, reeks. You said you were taking us a steam bath. You're a big fat liar, cheat, a fraud, a liar. Stop your bloody squealing. Work before pleasure, or do you both want to join the riffraff in their rotten trash heap? No, I thought not. Greetings, Zogar. How kind of you to visit our humble dig. I must say we're looking especially impressive today. Imposing, overpowering, overwhelming, overbearing, Yeah, you're looking as scruffy as ever, whatever your name was. But enough talk. My time's worth more than your sorry hide. Now let's see what you've got for me. This is your monthly haul, or what popped out of your asshole this morning. Once a sluggard, always a sluggard. Stragglers, sloth sluggards, the lot of you. The 79th are no sluggards, Saga. No, not a one. Every day we toil in the mines. Slave sweat toil from dawn to dusk. Yes, we set down our pickaxes only to eat and to sleep. Eat, sleep. Seems you have a misunderstanding here. A mistake, a misconception, a misunderstanding. Sleep, food, these are luxuries. Comforts, indulgences, luxuries. And luxuries, yes, luxuries are for kobolds who can dig their own weights. You are nothing. You deserve nothing. You are nothing. No rations for a month, or until you increase your haul 100-fold, whichever comes first. Whichever comes last. But Zogar, we are already weak and hungry. Cut off our food and supply, and we will starve, wither, die. Then die, yes, die. Each day you live, you'll breathe our air and eat our food. You'll get nothing in return. You're a parasite, Juju. A leech, a sponge, a parasite. Your very existence keeps us from achieving our potential. But I can think of one way that you might be of use.
Yes, the shriveled carcasses of you and your lot can feed our furnaces, fodder, fuel, feed for your betters. You cannot mean what you say, Zogar. No, this must be some cruel joke, a jest, The only joke around here is you, Jigu. I'll not repeat myself this time, 100-fold. An on's less and you'll be the first to burn. Singe, sizzle, burn. Let's go, ladies. Yes, the stench of sloth and stupidity in this dump is making me sick. Remember, ladies, this is the fate for those who do not take their own weight. Now, I do believe it's time for the steam bath. Oh, woe is me. Misery, misfortune, woe. What in the seven hells just happened? Come back from Camp Overlook only to see some overstuffed kobold strutting around like he owns the place. You are not so wrong. No, your words are true. Zogar leads the 13th, yes, and has many friends and followers in Ogamora. His power grows with each day, one less kobold challenges the word of Zogar. Soon none will be left to oppose him. None, no one, not one. What you're saying is that you just gotta let that self-styled tyrant walk all over ye. Yes, we have no choice, no recourse, no refuge. What kind of answer is that? Ain't you got a shred of dignity in your whole body? No, I do not. That was funny. Look, I don't know your kobold hierarchies from a hole in the ground. What I do know is that anyone talk to me like that, I'd go to the seven hell back to cut him down to size. But you are strong, bold, brave, and I am... Lemillion have mercy. I can't stand to look at the starry lot of ye. Are you kobolds or dormice? Look, you might have had no spine to stand up for yourselves, but Eorzea here sure as hell do. Ain't that right, Eorzea? Just tell us where we can find this Zogar. You know not what you say. No, you know nothing. It is pure madness to oppose Zogar. Folly, insanity, madness. The only thing what's driving me mad is your endless wailing. That settles it. I'm not leaving this stinking hole till Zogar falls on his hands and knees begging me for mercy. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But, did you just say something? No, nothing at all. Zogar does not suffer opposition lightly. No, not in the least. If we cross him, he will crush us. We are doomed, cursed, damned, doomed. Oh, adventurer, do not leave us. No, you must not go. The Rogadin woman frightens me even more than Zogar. Horrifies, terrifies, frightens. But we have no choice. No, we know we have none. You will protect us from Zogar's bullying. Yes, you will. Oh, adventurer, you are too kind. Gracious, generous, kind. Yes, kind. And possessing the strength of 100 kobolds. Yes, 100 kobolds. You do not need Jiju's help. No, you do. You do not. Good luck fighting Zogar, adventurer. I wish you your triumph, your victory, and success. Ooh, like I said, not a fan of them, but we got them unlocked, and we'll continue their quest line. Maybe it'll grow on me. There have been several things that, like, once I've gone in and I've done them again, I have actually appreciated them more on the second telling. So I will give them the ability to intrigue me, let's say. Also, you can see there's already some of these that have that. And then you're really going to want to look at these. Oh, not that, sorry. Subtle currency. I don't have them yet, that thing. Because I don't have any yet. Okay. Well, these are the Beast Tribe coins. So I don't have any yet. I suppose when I do, I can look at their vendor currency. But yes, these are where you get their mounts, their music, their furniture, housing items, that kind of thing. But in the meantime, travelers, that is going to end this here stream. We left it off a kind of a poor note. I suppose I should have saved a better one for last. But we did get quite a lot done today. So we unlocked Black Mage, which is quite exciting. Did all the Thaumaturge quest lines. I do think it's a good idea to do the Bard and the Black Mage quest lines together in the next bonus stream that we do. So I'm going to go ahead and leave off on the Bard for now, obviously, because otherwise we'll be on another hour, and I definitely don't want to do that. So tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, maybe even Wednesday, we'll get onto that Bard quest line. But there's no real urgency for it. We still have a lot to do in ARR. What I really need to do the next couple days is get caught up on my editing. What I'd like to do is edit down 6 or 7 episodes and just get them all in order posting. That way I can start working with a little bit more grace on my side projects. Because I do have a lot of those that I want to do. And it's getting a lot away from me. But y'all don't need to worry about that because that's supposed to happen in the background. In the meantime, though, this has been Eorzea the Literary Bear. I appreciate you guys for coming in and saying hello and seeing how this story is developing. Let me know any feedback. What's your favorite beast tribe? That'd be my question of the day. Favorite beast tribe in ARR, I suppose. We won't spoil the other ones. In the meantime, hope you enjoy the stories, and we will see you at the next campfire.